Here we go. We are back, people. Welcome to Weird Millennials. It's been a very, very long time, and we're so sorry about it. Life happened, okay? So I'm happy that we are back on. Me and Abid again. We're still working on that, and also check all different platforms. And we are on Instagram, as you already know, is weird.millennials underscore podcast. We are soon gonna be on TikTok. Apparently, we also are again still on every other podcast.
Okay,
Oh,
okay, okay. Yeah, so let's just record right now. You want it?
I'm already recording.
I'm already recording.
Okay, well, I was already doing the intro, so talk now. Just
Okay,
whatever I
you're,
said my
you're
part.
you're hosting, so I mean, let's.
We co-hosting. It's not just me. You know that it's not just me. Yeah,
No,
I know it's
you're the
you.
one introducing the topic. So
Okay, so as you can see, Abid and I, we are not like we're we're getting back to normal, to our recording session. But today, the subject will be about a couple of little things. But today we're gonna have a topic that I would say it's rare to see men and women talk about it, and also some people are maybe ashamed, others are not really much. Don't who cares? It's mostly about sexuality, but also mainly about porn. Today we're gonna have views about this, and I know normally in the normal way to see that. I don't know if it's a right word, but usually the girls will be the one not liking it and the guy liking it. And today, guess what? Plot twist is not the case. Abid don't like porn. He find it weird.
well, I'm saying, why do you need to watch porn? Like, there's no point.
Well, you can learn some stuff.
No, I'm saying that porn itself.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen porn ruin relationships. I've seen porn ruin marriages. I've seen like if you let me ask you if you porn itself
Mm-hmm.
changes people's brains chemistry. I don't think people realize how when Kanye West is talking about how evil it is and people are laughing at him.
Yeah.
There's a reason why he's talking about how evil it is. There's an inherent problem with porn that I think.
I see what you're saying with that, but I would say it's not just that there's a problem with porn itself. It's there, it's there. It's like a lot of things. So you would see people also do cocaine. Doesn't mean that, yeah, well, the problem also is
You're
cocaine.
compla Yeah, so is cocaine good for society or not? You're saying
Like,
porn is good for
no,
society.
what I mean is just that anything that is an addiction is not good for nobody, but it's also depend of the person. I watch porn. I don't find it like addictive at all. I
It
don't
is
find it
it is
making a
addictive.
problem.
Okay, I'll tell you right now, porn is a gateway drug in many ways. Like, first of all,
Yeah.
people are watching this way before they're supposed to. People are getting exposed to this at like age 5, age 6.
Hmm.
How do you think that's going to change their perception of like
Well,
relationships and
that's
people?
the problem, though. It's just also when they're exposed to it. If they're
Yeah,
exposed,
yeah, yeah,
if
yeah,
you
and that's
want
the
to
problem.
discover,
There's no how are you going to regulate that?
well, mainly it's the parents' job to also make sure that they don't get on those stuff. First of all,
Yeah, but the
because
reality is people are not following. It's not what just the parents are doing.
yeah, but you see, your point of view of that is just like very radicalized because there's also like the part where it can be light. You start slowly, and also I would say that people who get addictive are the people who are, I would say, mentally they're distressed with something already. They already have like, if it would not be porn, it would be something else. It would be alcohol.
Okay.
So it always that. There will be always something.
No, I'm saying okay. Okay, think about it like this. Okay, someone starts looking at porn, right?
Yeah.
They're eventually what's gonna happen is that's not gonna be enough. So then they're just gonna go to the webcams, like shout out to Andrew Tate, but he's innocent. Free Andrew Tate. And then what's gonna happen after that? Then they're just gonna go to hookers. So right there and then you're causing the moral degeneracy of society. So next of all, I'll break the argument that perception of what true intimacy is, uh degeneracy, like the idea. Okay, here's my idea with porn itself is that here's the idea, like when someone needs stimulation, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're just gonna go and they'll get a cookie or whatever, right? And the cookie, it just triggers the dopamine,
Mm-hmm.
and then they just porn is like I said, whenever you're happy, you'll go jerk off, get like your dopamine rush, but you don't actually build your perception of intimacy is completely skewed because all you're doing
Mm.
is jacking off and you're not actually, developing, normal human relations. You're not developing, it's more than just an orgasm. Like it shouldn't just be a trigger.
But
There-
I'm
there-
not. I'm not talking about the. I'm not saying that it's just a, like, yeah, orgasm or trigger or whatever. It's just, again, how people handle this. I watch porn, but you don't see me go jerk off every 5 seconds just because there's porn. I can make the difference between what is it and also what true intimacy is. Because of course, in real life, do you think that I want to do that? No, I don't have the solid back for it. I need to do my deadlift, man. I can't. But I see where you're coming from, and I understand. Yes, it's fair, it's valid what you're saying. However, don't put everybody in the same category, because otherwise, this business would not exist if there were not a no demand. People are actually, human beings are addicted to sex in general. Not to be porn or anything. We are addicted to sex because otherwise they would not be sex workers. Or when you say like strippers and all that, there's also people
I'm
spending
saying,
a lot of money on
I'm
that.
saying the fact they exist is a bad thing. They shouldn't exist.
Why shouldn't it exist?
They shouldn't
Stop being
exist.
so
It
preachy like
shouldn't
that.
exist because it's ruining society.
It does not ruin society.
Absolutely, yes, it
No,
ruins.
what ruins society with that is all the limitation and also the stigma that goes with it. If we were, wait, I'm not there. If we were able to be more open about sex in general, not to make that something that taboo, you would not have people seeking for those type of adrenaline rush to get the information. You agree? If
I agree.
that was not that taboo as it is right now, like anything that is in the sex industry in general was not taboo, you think that it would be this bad? No, you have less people being crazily addicted.
No, no, but I'm saying, think about it like this. What does porn do for the society, right?
It's what is
Okay,
forbidden
I'm
that other
asking you. Okay,
people.
look at what's normalized right now. I can tell you right now, it's destroy. I've seen it destroy marriages. I've seen it destroy.
Yeah, but you see, destroy marriages because why? First of all, the thing is secretive, is hidden. You never share anything with your partner about this. So of course he's going to destroy the marriage, because from the beginning that subject have been create taboo. But if it was open already, it would not destroy any marriage. Sometimes they'll find it funny. I was like,
No,
who is able to do this kind of
I can
crazy
tell you
shit?
exactly how porn destroys marriages.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll break it down, right?
Hmm.
So people, there's a, especially in the Indian community, I can talk about the Indian community because that's the one I
Okay.
relate to, right? So
Hmm.
especially Indian Pakistanis, right?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen is dudes are expected to wait till marriage, right?
Hmm.
So what they'll do instead is they're just gonna, to compensate because they can't have sex, they're
Hmm.
just gonna go and jack off, and then they're gonna go look at a lot of porn 3-4 times a day. They're gonna develop weird fetishes. By
Hmm.
the time they're married, they're ready to get married. They're so desensitized uh, to normal intimacy, they don't even know what it is. That by
Hmm.
the time they'll meet like their innocent hijabi wife at what age 33, age 34.
Yeah.
By that point, the only thing that turns them on is this porn. And
Yeah.
when they, and, they,
But
and when they, and then when they want to have actual intimacy,
mhm.
they can't get turned on by their wife. So then they seek out prostitutes.
But see what you just brought there? You actually prove my point. It was taboo from the beginning, because if you don't have to experience sex until marriage, I would say for some people it's just that it will get them to that point, to that extreme. But also, even you and I, we come from a similar background with the base of Muslim, where talking about sex is not something that is natural in a lot of households that are Muslim. You don't talk about it. You don't talk about what is supposed to be. How also, first of all, not talking about the woman pleasure either in there is part of the problem. But in those community, why the guy will build that thing in his head? Because there were no education for him for that. So he go with what is easy to get the information. The easy access is porn. But I'm not gonna demonize that and say that okay, because of it, it's just destroy marriages. Because the truth is, what destroy marriages, the person and the action. So if that person went to seek information about sex, but he's not comfortable or he's too ashamed to talk about it with other people without thinking that yeah, they're going to make fun of me, this is going to happen, of course they're going to go seek something that would just show you the image but not giving you the warmth and say this is not how real life is. Women cannot do that. You know?
Yeah, but then it's the problem is you've created that expectation in society.
No,
You, yeah, you have
you
by
make that. No, 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 no. You didn't create anything in your mind. It's just that, again, all that comes with education. To me, is how it goes. It's just that you create that own view on yourself, because it's not everybody that will start to think, yeah, yeah, every girl that you're gonna have sex with, it will be exactly like porn. No,
no, but hear me out on this. Like 50, 100, 200 years ago, were people just like
pornography
crying?
exists.
Were people jacking off in people's faces and doing facial? Nobody was doing that.
Oh, you sure
It,
about it?
no, porn put these thoughts into
No,
people's
no,
heads.
no, no, no,
Absolutely,
no.
yes.
Man, as you know, I'm a history nerd, and trust it, they were drawing, porn drawing, what it was maybe 10 times worse, worse. But if you just like you move it really quick and it moves, you will see exactly as what you see. It's just because now it's more visual that you see it. You don't need to work too hard with it. And
You
at the
can't
time, it
you
was
can't
different.
compare cave drawings to porn. That's completely different.
It's still porn.
The reality is this. No, what is it's because in the year 1500, women were wearing like girdles and
And
chastity.
it's not a reason
They were
that they
covered up.
cannot have like
Nowadays,
pornography
people are
porn.
walking around half naked.
Yeah.
They've become desensitized. There's a complete lack of morality.
Okay, so this is the two things that you are comparing with. Like the way that women dress from different centuries is nothing to do with that. But
It
if we
does.
get back to the no, if we get back still to the subject that we were talking about, you can be covered like a freaking ninja. We don't care. If the guy wanted to fuck it, he will still go for it.
Yeah, but
But the thing is, let me
oh,
get to my point
okay, okay.
one second.
Make your point.
So even in the 1500s, there were also those whorehouse, the brothel, where they will go and draw all those things, nasty, crazy stuff that they see, the orgies that will happen. You will be very much surprised to see how many of those like the big king and the emperor had orgies. And I'm not talking about the Middle Eastern with the harem and stuff. No, I'm talking about the European as well. All that's where those drawings come from. But because at the time there were no technology to say, oh, we're going to film someone fucking. If they could, do you think that how come peeping tom exists? Those one exist before even porn was alive.
Yeah, you're not gonna compare a Tom to like how everything is just pornographic nowadays, and people are just like BDSM and like there's just
Don't mix
people are
BDSM
fandom
and
and like
porn.
people are
Those are
just
two
getting
different
pegged.
things.
No, we're at a problem in our society right now where there's just a complete lack of morality,
No,
and
we are
it's in
no.
part
The
due to
problem is not
pornography.
lack of morality. I would say the lack is restriction, because internet now is just like it's everything. There were one time there was someone said I don't know exactly who it was, but it was like, well, internet, it will give you knowledge but also will make you dumb, paraphrasing. You know why? Because basically you have access to multitude of information. You choose what information you want to go with, and then after that your web page and algorithm will all go with that same thing. If you just watch porn all the time, you're going to just be fed with that, because that's the line that's the algorithm that gives you that. And the thing is, because we have access to so many things, that yes, I agree, we got desensitized about a lot of things. But is it also the fault of porn that people are not able to restrain themselves? Self-control exists. It's not porn going to tell you, yeah, you have to have self-control. It's like also blaming TV to be too violent, when the parents all the time when the kid cry, what they do, they shove a tablet on the kid hand.
Yeah, no, but porn adds to it.
That's why I'm saying that also is really not okay to just blame one thing, but also the person have to take responsibility
Yeah, but
because there's
then
action
the
for that.
porn is the drug here.
Oh my god.
Yes, it is. You're
Well, it's same
excusing
also for alcohol. Alcohol is also a drug.
no, but alcohol is porn is actually far worse because it's more socially acceptable.
No, alcohol is far worse because it's more socially acceptable.
No, but porn itself is not
They're on the same level. Is
You know,
the
you
same
you
level.
you talk.
Look, you have liquor store everywhere. Do you have pawn shop everywhere where you can have also
Yeah, but
people
porn.
like
You don't. You
you
don't.
can go to some porn stuff, but it will be hidden. They will tell you that yes, for adult entertainment, but it will be hidden. But liquor store is open everywhere, everywhere. So it's not just I think it's just that the thing is because porn is more equal with sex, that's why people demonize that more than if it was alcohol. The thing that get people more addicted is not even those two combined. It's sugar. Sugar is more addicted than anything on this planet.
No, but I'm talking about porn is more widely accessible than any of those things. You have access to
No,
it.
alcohol is more accessible than porn.
You ever heard of Kanye West? He was talking about this, and
Stop talking about Kanye West. He's not
I'm
a
using
god.
I'm using Kanye West as I'm using Kanye West as an example here. Okay.
I know. I watched the interview that he talked about porn, but for him again, his situation is very particular as well. Is someone who had always had mental issues. And I'm not talking about his diagnosis of being bipolar. No, this guy from the beginning have been saying that when he was a kid, he was introduced to that. For him, that's how he was wired. He was introduced with that by an adult. So that's how he started. Because when you condition a kid with something as a child, that's how they will see most of the thing over the years. It's like you're a kid, you being abused all the time. For you, it's normal that this is how you discipline your child, right? That's how they will go with it.
No, it's completely different. Okay, because the
It's
thing
not
is,
different. It's similar. It's the same thing. When you condition someone to do to say that this is the norm for them, they will carry that their whole life. Your formative years are when you're a child. So that's why when you talk about Kanye, he watched porn for the first time he was 5 years old. He was introduced to it at 5.
yeah, and that's the problem with
We
our society.
cannot do
People are
that.
seeing porn at 5 years old. That's the issue.
That's where the problem comes from because there was someone introduced him to sex at that age.
Yeah, and then the problem
But
is he was
what's up?
he was still watching it even while married,
Did
and then it inevitably it caused his wife to be like, "Why? How come
yeah, but
I'm giving?" But he's still looking at it. So clearly, I'm not doing. It causes
because
inadequacies within the person.
he was wired to it at a young age, but also he didn't seek any treatment later on and say, is it normal that I am so addicted to this? No. And also the thing is, if he was not introduced to porn when he was 5, we're still talking about Kanye. If he wasn't introduced to that at this young age, I don't think that you and I will have this conversation right now.
No, it's a simple fact. No, he's talking about the degeneracy of it. He's speaking to
Yeah. No. For that one, you know what? Look, I am not saying that I disagree that, yeah, people cannot be addicted. I do agree they can. It's just, again, for me, it's more about self control. But I would not say that everybody will fall onto the porn game thingy. Me, I would say that sometimes I will watch it, sometimes I would even think about it. That's how I go. I'm very moderate. Your stream is falling off.
yeah. Sorry, I can't keep this phone together. That's why.
It's an iPhone.
It's okay. No, but I bought a cheap case. That's why. But it's
Oh
okay.
well, I am an iPhone hater, so I would say a lot of shit about it. So people who are watching this on your thing,
Yeah.
I'm not an iPhone person. I hate it.
It's because you are in the words of Andrew Tate, you are a brokey. You cannot handle Apple products because you can't.
No, I am someone who think about like paying my rent is more important than having a device.
This phone is whatever, almost $2,000.
Yeah, that's the problem. And with that, I can pay my rent and also do groceries and pay all of my bills.
Well,
So fuck that.
I don't need to eat and I don't need to pay bills because I have an iPhone.
Eat my shit.
Yo.
You're a
No,
trader. You're a trader. You used to like that. You used to like having Android, and now it's like I have
no,
an
I still have my Android. I love my Android. But you know what? Like I see the pros and cons. First of all, with the Apple products, you get what do you call it? FaceTime? FaceTime's pretty cool. You get iMessage. Say what you want. These things have very good battery life.
also good with like Android stuff, but it's not called FaceTime. That's all.
Yeah,
You
but
can do that.
you have FaceTime. You got specific things related to Apple products that you can't get anywhere else. It connects to your
It's a
AirPods.
cult. It's like people with air fryers. It's a fucking cult.
What first of all, now you're hitting on air fryers. Air fryers.
I'm not hating on that. It's just that I am so tired that people keep telling me, oh, you should have an air fryer. It's gonna change your life. No, I don't wanna. I'm fine without it. It's like seriously, most of the things that I would say that new stuff that coming up in technology, people talk about it like it's almost becoming a cult. It's scary. I have colleagues at work. Every time during our break, they will show me different air fryers that they say, "Oh, this one is better than that one." I was like, "What are you doing? Like trading cards of air fryers?"
No, it's fine, but air fryers apparently they make the food taste really good. It's healthier.
Mhm.
Um,
But it
it, it-
makes it's not in the long run. It's not that healthier because it make you fry more stuff with that, like eat more fry stuff.
yeah,
That's
but you're
that.
you're you're
But
eating
even
it
though
and
no, it's just that on the long run, it's not that healthy because it's still those same thing that you would do with deep frying with oil, but you put that in the air fryer. Those are it's not very nutritious stuff that you put in there.
yeah, but you know what? It's a new technology. It's a new convenience. It's like a new if it can make food better, or if you can eat food in a more convenient way, why not? Let's let people do it.
If you say so.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Look, right now where I am, there's an air fryer behind me, just right there.
So you own an air fryer, but yet you're
I
dissing.
don't own it. This is not my house, dude. I don't own an air fryer. I don't own it. I'm
When
fine with what I
when did
have.
you did you did I thought you have your apartment, you're renting it.
No, I am right now. I am not in my house. This is
Oh.
Tony's place.
Oh yeah, what's up? What's up,
Yeah.
Tony?
Still. So no, I'm here for the for a couple of days just to take care of some stuff here. But those air fryer thing, I tried. Yes, she had tried. She had fried some stuff in there. It's good. Yeah, but for me, it's not like the life changing thing that it goes with. But it's just that for me, I feel like I'm a purist when it comes to cooking. So that's why it's not too much a vibe that I'm following. And also, you know me, I'm not a trend follower. I hate doing those stuff. I wait either is the trend is totally dead or nobody even care about it, then I will buy it because I like stuff that is like it makes sense to me.
Okay, so you want to get back to the main topic?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, the main topic is porn is degenerate, porn causes issues, porn ruins society.
That's your
You,
point.
you 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 haven't proved any point that it doesn't ruin society.
What you also haven't proved every point that is it does
Yeah,
is
I
all
can
the
say I
time.
proved you. I
You
proved
just
you.
took example of people that you know that their behavior was just secretive and then it have ruined their relationship. It's
Yeah,
not actually the actual porn that ruined their life. It's
well,
mainly them, their behavior.
let me tell you
So,
something. Everybody who's addicted to who's a cheater, who's addicted to, let's say, escortism or hookers or sex
you're
addicts,
judging
they, they,
nothing.
they all started off as porn addicts. Every sex addict started off as a porn addict. Let's start with that.
Oh my God. Oh,
100%.
I'm not against that, but also,
It's the truth.
good doctors.
Yes.
You also have to have the right doctor to help you out mentally because I notice that a lot of people they don't realize that it can be also a sort of mental issue because that's the thing, right? Anything that is related to addiction, a lot of people don't realize that is also based on a trauma. It's a coping mechanism that you do.
Okay, trauma, that's one thing. But what is causing the trauma itself? The trauma is caused by people watching all this porn and having access to so
No, oh
much
my God, that's like the most stupidest. I'm sorry to say that, but this is not a good statement that you provide here. It's not you watch porn and then boom, you're traumatized. No,
no,
something
it's you've
life-changing event
you've
for
ruined
you to become a
you've ruined
coping
your
mechanism.
brain. You've ruined your brain by the amount of porn you're watching.
So you say that my brain is ruined because I watch porn?
I'm saying a part of your brain is ruined, yes.
A part of my brain is ruined because I'm watching porn, man. So I'm very
100%.
sad that you don't know me that well.
Yeah, I'm saying a part of everyone's brain, if they watch too much porn, will inevitably get ruined because of moral degeneracy.
You go with the moral, that's different.
Yes.
Those are two. No, because what I want to tell you about this is just that you're talking about moral versus trauma. It's two different things. Moral is just someone that tell you that this is good, this is bad. That's the moral wherever you go. Trauma, it will be that some shit happened to you. You maybe saw someone get shot in front of your face, and you get all you have is just to do is just that use something as a coping mechanism. Like people would do that with alcohol, or people would do that with porn or food. That's your coping mechanism. That's different. You shut the fuck up. Sorry, I talked to the dog.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, okay. I'm saying that
Come here.
both things can lead to trauma. If you're talking trauma, like I'm saying that there's moral. Inevitably, when you don't follow, when you live a life without rules, without restrictions, where you tell everybody what to do,
Mm-hmm.
inevitably what you have is trauma within society, because what happens is you promote hookup culture, promote its immorality, you promote hedonism, and what's that going to result in society? You're going to have less marriages, you're going to have less families. You're basically, porn is partly, in a way I could argue, part of the destruction of society as a whole. And
Your view on it is too radicalized. It's too extreme. It's too extreme. You can still watch porn and still be a very balanced, functional human being. Me, I can say that I'm a maybe fucked up human. So what? But you don't see me express everything and saying that porn is life is supposed to be like this, right?
but you're no, okay, then provide a way. What is good? Like, what makes it? How does porn make society better? Provide that answer.
Well, first of all, if someone watch porn and they don't load their frustration by raping someone, murdering them, that's good for society.
Yeah, but then what if the idea, there's a lot of weird fetishes. There's rape fetish porn. There's sisters, incest porn. There's
Yeah,
all these
that's the part that
you're
those
putting
ones I'm not cool with them.
you're
I don't
putting
like.
those ideas into people's heads by
No,
them watching these videos.
no, you're answering to demand of some stuff. So to me, if to me, I find it safer for them to just watch instead of taking action. I'd rather you watch porn all day instead of going in the street and say that I'm gonna rape someone or go to just aggress someone for no damn reason. If you are able to release this fantasy by just watching, it's safe.
But you're putting the thought into someone's head in the first place.
No, you're not putting that in the person's head. No, because they search for that first. When they do that, it means that the person already had the idea in their mind, but they release that by watching porn. There's a difference. It's not something that they do the reverse. No, you already have the idea. When you're horny, you already have the idea. Your head is already going there. And then after that, also when you go on porn website, you have categories. You click on specific one that you want.
Yeah, but you know what? It's those options are there because you know what, eventually, people were very much 500 years ago comfortable with just not having normal intimacy. Then it kept getting more
Yeah.
extreme.
Okay.
Sexualization became liberal.
This is
Everyone is out. Sex is now out in the open. There's no shame. When you have lack of shame, you have more porn. When you have more
no,
porn, you
no,
have more
no,
degeneracy.
no. I disagree. I disagree. When you have less shame, you're able to express what you want.
You
You're
should.
able to
You're
express
supposed to have.
no,
You're
because
supposed to
no,
have
you
shame.
okay, Abid, you're talking for a lack of experience of intimacy. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna just to put that out there. You're talking about something that you yourself haven't experienced.
No, I'm talking about what's making society worse, and a lack
No,
of shame is exactly
but
what's
the
making
thing, no,
society.
no, no, I don't think so. The lack of shame would just allow people to be more open about what they want. It's
They
not going to
shouldn't be
make them.
open.
It's not going to make them being more aggressive or anything. What
They
making
shouldn't.
people just more isolated is the lack of communication and let them and make them feel ashamed because they have something that is natural. Is called desire and called also a physical need. That's where the problem come from. When you make them ashamed and say that it's not normal that you want to have sex, it's almost kind of that.
You should be no, no, no. If you want to have sex in the open, if you want to do things that are completely abnormal, things that go against uh, you know, typical moral, like, society boundaries, and you start pushing the edge, and if you're putting like sick thoughts into people's heads, if you're changing the wiring of people's brains, then yeah, these things should be shamed. Absolutely.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yes.
So it's mean that if you say that like that, you and I wouldn't never be friends then, because you know that I have zero shame when it comes to my sexuality.
No, I'm saying we could agree to disagree on some things, but I'm saying
Mhm.
as a whole society,
So that
th-
one, the thing is, I don't want to stigmatize, like put them on and say, that, "Oh, you're a bad person. You watch porn." No, because it's not healthy. to just go to that extreme and say the lack of shame or this. No, if you're not ashamed to say that you embrace who you are, you're okay with your sexuality, you're okay to watch people having sex, it's normal.
Okay,
But
okay.
can
So
you
let's.
go to no, because you're going to part where it's just like the worst case scenarios that you had heard of, that you're aware of. But you're not seeing the full picture, because otherwise you will be surprised to know how many people on this planet are watching porn. Because
Okay, but
otherwise, everybody right now, no. The society where we live right now will be the purge. It will be the movie The Purge in that case.
okay, but think about it like this. What is the most, if you're talking about naturally, what is the most intimate thing that two people can share with each other? It's the act of sex. What is normal about watching other people perform that act? Like,
Hey, it
there's
can
nothing
give
normal
you,
about that.
listen, that's the part where I would say, yeah, it can give you ideas about like to spice it up a little bit.
You shouldn't be watching normal. It should be something that's private, that stays in your house, that you don't talk about under any circumstance.
Well, you see, you're talking about like two different things.
It's the same
One,
thing.
no, because right now you're putting the person itself and say that as if they were like the one to go, like, yeah, I need to watch porn. And, like, so what? Let them leave.
So
If not, you know, some couples sometimes you porn get them more closer together.
yeah, but
Although
let's put
maybe
it this
it's
way.
not your case, because that's fine.
Let's
Listen, that's
let's
cool.
put
That's
it this
cool.
way. If
Same
it
thing.
was two, if it was two of your close friends, would you be comfortable watching them have sex?
This is you being fucked up. It's not
Well,
working like that.
it's the
I'm
same thing.
watching strangers. Those are actors. Well, there are also people, but they're actors having their thing. I don't know them. I don't need to have that thing in my head. No, thank you. It's like imagining your parents having sex. That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's part of the root cause. It's like
No, it's not part of that at all. You are not separating the information properly with that. You're mixing in too many different things that is not making sense. And also the other day, I remember that when we were talking about like this subject, you said that you wanted to make the difference between men and women, where men are more visual, they watch porn. So
yes.
that's mainly the target audience, which is true. But there's also a lot of women. Now they are doing also a lot more porn that catering to women. That it would be slightly, it's not even like fully different. It's slightly different because what they do, they create just the storytelling, because you have to make the scenario more sense, instead of the plumber show up and say, I heard you had a burst pipe, and then everybody's naked in 5 seconds.
No, the thing is,
Because they
women are
want more.
naturally more emotional. Men can separate emotions from their sexuality. So
Stop saying bullshit. So it's mean that you don't know a lot of women and they're not telling you everything.
uh no, I'm saying that part of it is, yeah, you don't think that women are more emotional than men on average?
No, I would say that women are more articulate to express their emotion than men. Men also are emotional creatures. It's just because we have been taught always that men should not express those emotions. We
Who's the,
equally the same on that part.
when you when someone is filming a porn, who's the primary demographic of the porn?
It's both. It's
But
both. As weird as it can be, you can be surprised as much as you want, because clearly, again, you haven't to go to check anything about porn.
yeah, but
You
do you think the average woman wants to just get a bunch of jizz on her face, like at the end, just like
uh, you
uh
just focusing on just that specific act.
that's the main act.
No, it's not just that act.
That's the main act.
One woman, listen, there's
Is that
some women
were people
they
doing
kink
that
is,
100 years
listen
ago?
a bit. There's some women they kink is to have a guy who joke up on their face, on their boobs, whatever, this kind of thing. Because again, as you said, it's an intimate, something intimate. But some people have the ideas like that. They want to have those things happening in their face. Yes, they will want it.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it off in a completely different way. There, you said you got a problem. Do you find R. Kelly had lacked morals? Like he did some bad stuff. You agree that R. Kelly did some bad things, right?
Actually targeted children. So
Yeah.
if
Would
you
R.
want,
Kelly be
no. If you want to throw him into this debate, I'm out.
would R. Kelly be doing that if it wasn't for porn?
Of course, he's
I think.
deranged.
See, it's the strange fetishes that are.
No, listen. Okay, so this is kind of stupid, because let's talk about something that will be similar that people think is taboo. Serial killers, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And we are not going to go to the porn. When people have in their mind that they want to kill, do you think that they were like, oh, I'm watching someone killing someone on TV, and then boom, that's how I become a killer? Oh, it's also, we're going to go back even in ancient time when TV did not exist, the oldest entertainment did not exist. When people wanted to kill, they would just kill. It's not that someone had put that idea in their mind. So being a disturbed asshole or like this piece of shit that you're talking about, even though his music was fucking fire, that I would not always blame the porn for it. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do that. Porn didn't make him to go target children.
But you know, there's traits when it comes to murders. Like you see people, if a kid is torturing animals, I could say this guy has traits of a serial killer. So one thing led to another.
Yeah, torturing animals. He started with torturing animals. Where did he see that? Nowhere. It just came in his mind that he wanted to hurt that thing.
You think R. Kelly woke up one day and was like, I'm gonna start peeing on little girls?
I think he already had the idea for a
I
very
think
long time.
I think
I
I think
watched. Did you watch the documentary, Surviving R. Kelly?
I saw bits. I didn't see the whole thing
I
though.
watched the whole thing. So basically, this guy already fucked up before even he became famous. After he finished high school, he would always go hang out in his junior high to just to drive girls there. He was in his 20s. He was already doing that before all this porn shit. He was doing that. It had nothing to do with what he was watching. The only thing that is different for him is just because he had more power, money, access to all this kind of thing, he was able to act on it. If he was a broadcast, he would not be able to do that. He would just go see the cheapest prostitute and have an STI.
So no, but where do you get these ideas from? That's the root. That's the root cause. What's putting these ideas in your head?
No, it's well, in that case, you will say that also
You think I'm
someone who
you
okay,
think he woke up
tell
one day,
me
it's like I'm just gonna start peeing on people.
some people are just like that. They're nasty like that. It's not porn. I'm not gonna blame that on porn. I'm sorry, man. Because otherwise, I will. We will blame also on different this kind of thing for people who write stories.
No,
Like
we're
where
saying
do you no? Because most of the time, it's just your imagination start like that. It starts with your only imagination. That's it.
it's.
All of the crazy fucked up the things that people do start with their imagination.
Have you ever
Everything.
have you ever studied criminology in school? And look, you know what they say that there's always a root cause for crime. Like they say there's statistical black people in the U.S. for instance are more likely commit crime in larger portions than the other demographics. But then there's like, what's the historical context of that? How are these neighborhoods developed? What's the backstory? There's an origin of everything. It's not just simply people. These people are happen to be black, so then that just makes them commit crime. It's not. It's bigger than that, right? So I'm saying that
Why you go there?
I'm saying you. I'm saying I don't want to
Why
take it.
are you going there, Abid? You know really
So
well this subject is very sensitive and very different. You cannot really go with porn and this. Why are you going there?
yeah, I'm using it to make a point here. So I'm saying that
It's not going
there's
to work because I'm not going to listen to that point. I am not going to listen to that point. I'm sorry to your viewers on TikTok or whatever name it is. I'm not going to follow on to that point. I'm sorry. It's just because you cannot take that as a point of comparison. And also, I'm so tired that every time when some people try, not just you, in general, try to make a point, it always going to go back to the black issue somewhere as an example. Stop taking us as fucking guinea pigs. We suffered enough. Take something else.
okay. I'm
White
just
people love bacon. Take that as an example. I'll be fine with that. But stop with always going back to something that you know exactly what create all that shit for that community over there.
no. I'm saying I'm not using them as the main. I'm just saying like there's a root cause of issues, right? So I'm saying that like we have issues of people developing strange fetishes. People have to see something. People have to
No, I don't think that people over the time had developed strange fetishes. What happened is just that now is more in the open. They were just better at hiding that before because there was no social media to share it with nobody.
yeah, and the problem is if when people have it out in the open, then they don't feel a sense of shame. Like I'm saying, like let's look at it. If we're gonna,
No, I know that, but me, when I'm talking about a sense of shame, is about like a personal experience, like as a self. I'm not talking about like everybody shouldn't feel. Sometimes I'm just like, I don't need to know your business online.
yeah, but I'm saying like let's put it this way. Like you think about porn is part of every other aspect of society.
Mm.
Some people use government to restrict it. Some
Mm-hmm.
people use government to restrict other areas. But like let's put it this way. From the viewers on TikTok, right? So, and other platforms, we're streaming on everything YouTube, Apple Spotify Music. That when somebody, let's put it this way, when they're looking at how do I describe this? Okay, let's put it this way. When you have a society that shames this stuff, you're there's a sense of like, okay, you have to act as the group. You have to act in a manner. You're correct. You're putting the sense of right and wrong into people. When you take the sense of right and wrong, then you're letting people just do whatever the heck they want. And then right
Always.
there you're gonna have more
No.
questions. Yeah.
Listen, I'm not saying that you have to give the total freedom for this kind of shit because there's some category in porn that I'm just like, no, this is gross. I don't want to see this, especially that damn stupid fantasy of the teacher and the student.
It's not
That's
even the
what's,
worst one. There's incest ones. That's the most
yeah,
common.
those one are disgusting. I find them disgusting. Those one are not the type that I look for. No,
And pretty
because
soon,
the scenario that I like to watch sometime, I would say, well, is like friends turn to lovers, or the you're like in a company and then you have a colleague is very hard and you get that, or you have like the one with the firefighter and he can rescue. That's sexy to me. But the other thing that is like disgusting, like incestuous, or the stepmom and this, no. But unfortunately, why they have created those categories? Because people demand those.
yeah, and you know what put those thoughts into their heads? Moral degeneracy from watching too much porn.
No, it doesn't start like that. It's just that some people have fucked up where they already have fantasy about their step parents.
Yeah, but then you're putting the thought
No, it
you're
had
putting the
nothing
thought into
to
the world.
do with. Listen, incestuous. You think that in the Egyptian, the pharaohs,
Yeah,
it was also incestuous. It was their porn around? No.
I know, but
As your logic would
it was
say,
less
now
it was
in
less
your logic, is that there were no porn around that time, but there were fuckload of ancestors over there within pharaohs, right?
yeah, but there's a difference. It was
No,
controlled society.
no, there's not a but. This is also, it come from their own mind because they think that, yeah, it's gonna keep everything in the pure lineage. So when you already have that in history, in human history, that this fuck upry have exist, don't blame that on porn and say that, yeah, they have created that, because it's not new. It's not new.
No, but the way porn is delivered now, like there's a sexual liberalization. Like every sex is more out in the open now than it ever has been before.
No, it's not that.
Yeah, and I'm
Oh
saying
no,
right
Abi,
now,
those things always been there. It's just because we have easier access to it.
yeah, and that's the issue. It shouldn't be that. Well, I'm saying okay. I'm not saying in a secular society you have to let people say, but I'm saying, is it a good thing that it's happening? I don't know. I'm like, I don't. Are people better off because porn is everywhere?
Well, no, I would just say that people would be in need to learn self-control, and also I think that the main issue is the lack of communication. It's the lack of that. It's a lack of saying that it's natural to want to have desire for someone else physically. It's natural, but you also have to go with the consent and the respect of that person's body. And I agree that, yes, right now it's just everywhere, even like in music. Now you watch it, people are, you just like, I know how you look like without even know you personally. I get where you're coming from with that, but I don't want to stigmatize people who just watching the entertainment that is offered to them just because
But I'm
there's
saying, okay,
something that
we,
should be
we
shameful.
could compare it to other countries, right? Okay, let's think of a country where it's more shamed, like Saudi Arabia, right? And then,
My
and then
me just to like showing my face is shame over there. Oh
yeah,
my
yeah,
god.
no, but I'm saying like, look, you take a country like Saudi Arabia, if you're statistically looking at the numbers, there's far less rape there. There's far less sexual
Nope.
assault.
No, that's a
Yes,
lie.
because
That's a lie. That's a
shame
lie. Dude,
it, like, look at the numbers.
no,
If you
no.
think you're more likely to get sexually assaulted here
They can
than you
lie
are in
about
Saudi
those
Arabia.
numbers. I'm gonna repeat myself one more time. Those countries are, they know how to suppress some information. So whatever that you're saying right now, they are suppressing that information to make you believe that they're less rape. It's not because they married the victim that mean that it's not rape. You cannot talk about this kind of stuff and thinking that, yeah, oh yeah, there's less rape. It's just because on this Western side, they're more honest with the numbers compared to Saudi Arabia, who just have zero respect for women in general.
Yeah, but I'm saying like think about it like this. Okay,
Don't defend that place, dude.
I'm not defending. I don't think it's the best place to live, but I think inevitably, if
Don't
everything is so
defend that
restricted,
place.
there's more shame. So then people are less likely to go out and do things
That's
if
not
they,
true.
yeah, but if it's a controlled society.
Oh no, that's so not true because they have to make you believe that. They make you think that yeah, everything is under control. It's fucked up. You know exactly what happened in Dubai. You know very well what the shit is happening in Dubai. Those people that they pay all those Westerners girl to do those nasty things. You
Yes,
know.
those
So
are
no, 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 don't say that it's an exception because it's a normal thing. So say that those people being fucked up there, they're everywhere. Men can be pigs everywhere. They don't need a special place for it. They don't need to always have access to porn. All they need is just the money.
no, but it's less people doing it because the people who in Dubai, for instance, let's
Because they're smart enough to not show it. That's the difference. They're smart enough to not put it out in display in the public. Here on the western side, it's just because everything is just out there that is normal. For them, it's just like they keep
I
it
can
just.
get one time I was in the west side of Edmonton. I was walking on the side of the road from West Edmonton Mall.
Mhm.
I was walking. I literally saw somebody. It was 3 in the morning, banging each. It was a guy and a girl, doggy style, on the side of the road, walk like on the highway. And I
Yeah,
asked
you
you,
can know about that one.
like, is that normal? Is that and where?
You know what? I think that at least is more respectable. You know
How
why?
is that
I'm gonna
respectable? You're
let me let me get there. You
yeah.
know why? Because both consent to that act.
I didn't consent to that. I
Yeah,
didn't consent
but
to
it's
having
not.
my
So what? So what? Both of
you're
them consent. So it's mean that if that girl was being raped, and you would just look at it, you would like, oh, I didn't consent to see that.
yeah you should not have it out in the public. Yes.
That's called fantasy. Some people like to do
Yeah,
that
yes,
in real place.
fantasy. You have when you're in a public space, you can't enact your fantasies with everybody.
Oh yeah, you can.
No, but I'm saying that everyone has a right to the public that space.
Hey, it was at 3 in the morning. They were barely at nobody. What you were doing in the street at that time? You could be a terrorist.
I was
You
coming
could
home late.
no, I mean you could have been like that serial fucking killer that would just walk around in 3 a.m. and say, "I'm gonna cut people dicks when they're fucking."
Yeah, I'm saying like so I'm the one who's getting shamed for just minding my own business.
See, no, you were not minding your business because you were looking, and also
But
you were just
they
like,
were
what is
doing
their
it. They were in a
business to
public
having
space.
sites on the side of the road where they thought that there were nobody?
There's there. Well, if they wanted privacy, they should have done it in a
No,
house.
they thought that there were nobody crossing that place, and they were in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, but I'm saying that the
I
problem
am
is
not going to shame those two people. They were living their best life.
they should be shamed. Absolutely,
They were living their best life. Wait until you dip your dick in something. You understand? It's
no, but
addictive.
no, it's a simple fact. Like PDA did this. You're pushing the limits. Like you have to have a
That's the
baseline.
thrill of it. That's the thrill of it,
Yes, you should
man.
have a baseline. You're representing society.
Uh you're
You
not
know,
representing shit. You're just
yeah,
having a good time. I'm sorry.
you're trying to maintain society.
A bit. Listen,
Yes.
I have done some nasty stuff that you will be so shocked, and I don't want it to hurt your feelings about it. But just to let you know, it's totally fine. When you think that you're alone, you do some nasty things. But
Yeah, but then
as
they
long as
clearly were not
long
alone if it's out in the open in the public.
it can be, you can still be alone outside.
No,
Just
yeah.
take the voice
I
out.
said if they really wanted, they should have gone to a backyard or something. I
No,
said,
back That's no. That would be violation of someone private land, whatever how you call it. You cannot go do that in the backyard. In a park, maybe, yeah, if there's nobody.
no, I'm saying right now, like you're putting these thoughts into these heads, like this is normal. This is normal.
Nah.
I don't think there's no standard.
No,
Like you
you're
don't
not
have.
putting any thought on anything. It's just that some people listen. I can tell you a story here about someone that I know who were never, ever, ever, not even a fan of porn at all, not watching it, not even interested to it, and same also with her partner at the time, and they still decide to do that in a public place just to have the thrill of it, not because they watch porn. Nobody put that idea in their mind. They never watched it. I was the one traumatize them and say, "Hey, you want to see something?" and show them porn. They were like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah, and I'm saying that it's not good as a whole. Like we're talking about, is porn good or bad? I'm saying porn definitely does more bad than good.
That's your opinion, but it's okay.
No, I know. I mean, I'm basing it based off facts. I'm saying
No,
the
it's
world
just
degenerates.
no. You base that onto the one who have been more vocal on a negative way about porn, because of the people who have
Then
been. Let me stand out of my sentence.
okay, I'll
People
bro-
who are mentally
I'll take it to
sound.
another level. I met a guy.
No, it's just that look, people who are mentally sound. I hope I am part of it. It's just that for us, we're not just going to talk about it every 5 seconds and say, "I watch porn." Oh, have you watched this specific porn? No. The one who will be vocal about it is those one that they have been so deep in their hole, and also they went to the worst kind of fucked up type of porn that they would realize that they have a problem, and then they decide to talk about it. But otherwise, the other will sound and normal. They will watch it and they would not, you would not hear them have a casual conversation and say, yeah, the other day I saw that spawn and they were having a gangbang with one girl and 17 guys. You would never hear that. Because when people are mentally sound, they would not always express what the fuck up they do. It's private, as you said, right? So what they're watching, they're not gonna tell you. They will tell you about some shows that they watch, but they're not gonna tell you about the porn that they watch. Me right now, I'm telling you that as a woman, I watch porn. I watch the one that the guys watch. I checked almost all the categories except for the incest one because those ones are so disgusting and the school girl
Yeah,
thing too.
are you a coomer though?
What?
Are you a coomer? Someone who's addicted? You think people genuinely it's not seen as an act that is no one should be taking pride in that. Like it's like what did you accomplish? Like if you ask me about the act itself, you watch this, do you feel good?
I did already told you what is the purpose of it. Is
What
to
is the
read.
what is the purpose?
Well, some people need to be visually stimulated for something that they lack. Like our friends, the incel guys, if they don't have
I'm
access,
saying they would be
no,
better off learning
listen.
to talk to people.
Well, okay, my question to you, this one you have a no choice. It's not like you have to find a door or whatever. Between porn and let's say we ban porn forever, but we
No,
legalize prostitution. Would
at
you
least
agree with that?
I'm saying you could tax it. I'd be
That's the
going with
point.
you.
When I say legalize prostitution, it's not that, yeah, just make it legal. No, they will also pay their taxes for God's sake, like they do in Netherlands.
Yeah, so I'm saying okay, that's it's one thing. You're never gonna completely eliminate it, but the idea is
The thing is, the human mind is fucked up from the beginning. We always have been very much a sex focus from the beginning. The only difference is just because our modern society have more access to it. Is the difference.
man, my phone is off, but it's okay. We don't need to.
No, we don't need to because otherwise they will see that before I put that on the thing, and I don't. I want people to listen to the podcast,
Okay. Sorry, TikTok. But anyways, back to the
not me.
real. Okay, back to everything else. What we have right now is a society, and there's no standards. We have everything that's so open. We have everything that's people don't know what right from wrong is. People don't know what is shame, what is okay, what is not okay. So,
No, I don't think it's true. I think people
and
know what.
I'm not saying
I
porn should be
know that
completely
I
banned.
think that they know what is right or wrong, but they choose to disregard it. They just go with what they feel.
In I provided multiple ways. I've seen it like look at let's say you're in a relationship with somebody, right? You think about it, you're married to somebody. This
Yeah.
person's constantly looking at porn. Inevitably, you're gonna compare yourself to what that person's looking at. You'll say, "Why does this person?"
No.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Don't you think the act of like
I would not. All I would do is just to be like, okay, is there a problem right now? Should I feel concerned about
okay,
anything? But I would not compare myself to them. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that.
okay, let's just say you're watching a bunch of like, let's say you find your partner and they're looking at a lot of porn and it's a bunch of like Chinese girls. It's not, and you say like, does this guy like Chinese girls? He doesn't like me.
You have a
Why?
fetish. It's different.
Yeah. So then you'll say, why is he with me? Inevitably, it's gonna cause you to feel inadequacies in yourself.
Well, I would not say just the white heels with me. I would just like, if you have a fetish for Asian girl, you should have married one because
So then inevitably
what?
it causes strain in your marriage
No,
because of the porn.
no, I'm not
Prove
gonna
my
be
point.
no, no, no. The point will be probably one element, but it would not be the full reason why the marriage is ruined. I'm sorry.
But it would cause a crack. It would be like
No, the crack was already there. Stop putting everything on the porn. The crack was already there.
yeah, it
You
caused like,
married. No, listen. I'm gonna take a very simple example of people married that will go fucked up. You married someone. It's been a couple of years. Every day they come back from work, they're not even looking at you. They're just gruffing, whatever. After that, everybody's on their cell phone. That's where already there's a problem. Or you have someone who's gonna spend their time nagging their partner all day, every day for no damn reason. There's also a problem here. Or the guy is not able to express his emotion because he never been told that it was okay for him to do so, and bottle up every time. Oh, even worse, someone just to decide that his only way to express himself will be through anger, punching the wall, all this, but not trying to do the actual work and say, I have another problem. And piggyback everything on porn is ridiculous.
I'm not
Because
saying
people also have to take a responsibility onto their behavior and also how they interact with their partner or their spouse. It's not just like, yeah, because of external factor that they behave that it cracked in the marriage. If the person chooses to cheat, they are the one inside the house who would say that I'm going to cheat. It's not the person outside say, hey, come cheat with me, and then it's like, cheat with me or I'll shoot you. They agree. It's like every time when we see the story of people say that, oh, the husband cheat, but who is demonized? The mistress, but not the guy. Like he was a victim. He was like, oh my god, no, I love my wife. No, what is happening? Stop falling on my dick. No, you don't see that. It's just like you see people being equally participant. It's just that people have to own their shit. Basically, is that own your shit, own the fact that yeah, you do some messed up stuff. Stop accusing everything around you.
yeah, I'm saying that there's a root cause for everything, right? And I'm saying it's
Yeah, but
completely foreign.
don't always put that on porn. I'm sorry. If you have seen in your as a kid, you've seen your parents being a dysfunctional marriage, and you carry that with you in your life. Don't blame that on porn.
No, I'm not saying I'm saying porn, but you're asking is porn a good thing or a bad thing? I'm going with the
It's
assumption that you
neutral.
can.
For
Yeah,
me, porn is neutral. It just depends on the individual, on the person.
I'm saying you in a secular society, I can't tell people what to do, and there's no point because people will see it anyways.
Yeah,
But is it an act of? Is it a
that's
force of good overall? No, it's not.
that's the thing. You
Like
cannot.
is it normal to watch your friends have sex?
Why would I? What the fuck? What happened to you, dude?
What's the difference? You're watching people have
Have
sex.
you watched some of your friends having sex? Because if you did, go see your therapist. Because what the shit?
Because what's the difference? It is. Do you think? Okay, let me ask you something. Would you be comfortable? Would you be comfortable watching your partner be intimate with somebody else?
Hell no.
So in a ways, you're a borderline. That's basically porn. Watching your partner be asleep with somebody else is pornography. So if you're not cool with that, then just think about what it is. You're literally watching
This
two people.
comparison doesn't make sense. Why would I be okay to watch my partner fucking someone else in front of me? That's called cheating.
That's called
I'm not
pornography.
doing it three way. No, no, it's not porn because it's not my man having sex with the person. It's not my man that is having sex with the person on the screen that I'm watching.
No, it's part. It's no, but the thing is, it's part of the same thing. Like you just haven't separated yourself from that person. It's just different when it's somebody you know.
First of all, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I don't want to fuck any of the porn actors that I watch because first of all, they're ugly. They have big dicks, yes, but they're ugly.
Yeah, and I'm saying, okay, right there and then,
But
okay,
the thing is, it's just again, you don't watch it. You don't. You're not. You cannot really understand. You go more because you're how I would explain. You're observer. People will always explain to you how they experience things, but you don't experience that yourself. So maybe you
porn is
should
very. Anybody can see porn. Everybody's seen
go
porn.
go ahead, watch porn, and then
Everybody's
we talk
watched
about
porn.
it.
And you know what? Well, you know what happens with porn is what the people do is
Watch porn, and we talk about
they
it.
watch the beginning, and then they scroll in, they watch the middle, and then they scroll to the end. It's
That's weird.
because the act of sex itself, right?
Yeah.
It's supposed to be meaningful. It's supposed to be It's not supposed to be something that you could just turn on and off at any given moment.
I
It's
find it cute that you had a romantic when it comes.
there's an act like it's supposed to be something that's sacred.
Oh, really? What
Porn
about
makes
one night stand?
yeah. Then at least there's true intimacy there because it's a real life thing. I don't think
One
that's
night stand is not intimate at all. All you want is just fuck. That's
no,
all.
but it's a release of your true physical passions in that moment.
But it's still a one night stand. It's similar to porn.
Yeah, okay, a one night stand. I don't think it's a good thing. I'm not a fan of one night stands either. But I'm saying it's better for someone to have that, to have real experiences, than
No,
to live vicariously through a screen.
I'm sorry. No, it's not. Because you don't know what fuckery the person is carrying on their junks. You just go fuck them because you find them attractive. It's purely physical. That's all. There's no intimacy in there.
Okay,
Purely
let me
physical.
with porn, right? Look, what I'm not sure if you know this. There's VR headsets now. In Japan, they have now like realistic dolls that like they have cafes with just a bunch of people are
Listen,
now
Japan is another
paying
universe. I cannot talk about them because I don't know what that experience.
people are doing are getting with robots. People are doing. You're saying it just one step further. Like people are getting desensitized. People are lacking human connection.
That's true. They do. They're losing
And,
that.
and part
But
of that comes
but
from
I would not
people.
accuse everything with
And
porn.
part of
I
that
would
comes and part,
accuse if you want to blame something, blame technology.
yeah, and porn loses your own sexual desire to go out and seek something yourself because you're like, okay, I can just watch porn. It's fine. And guess what? Now you're gonna have less marriages, less
Yeah,
relationships.
true.
Yeah. So now
Me,
people
I
are just
watch.
sitting.
You
People
can
are
turn me
sitting in
on
their
when I
houses.
want to have sex with my partner.
Yeah,
That's how
people
it
are
goes.
sitting there watching their computers, not going out and meeting people because everything is now just is you don't have to go. You don't have to develop social skills and like develop like
Mm.
human. Yeah, because now you're just watching porn. So it takes out your motivation.
No.
Yeah, it takes out your motivation to go out and do it yourself.
Or maybe I'm weird. I may be one of the weirdos
You
where
think
it goes
someone
back.
you think someone said you think anyone's ever watched pornography and
Hmm.
just said, "Oh wow, I'm motivated to go do experience new things
Yeah.
and like and meet new people." No,
You know what?
it makes you more closed
No.
off.
You know what? When I watch porn, what I do sometimes,
Yeah,
I would just like, I wonder if I'm able to do that too. But I'm asking that to my partner if I'm able to do that. I try to see the
but then
physicality if I'm
the
able.
reality is, everyone who's told you, I've talked to Hohen about this.
Hmm?
Porn and real life is two completely things or different things, right?
Oh yeah, it's very different.
So
I know.
now you created false expectations.
I did
Now
not.
people will end up being more disappointed and they can't appreciate the real life stuff as much
That's
because
because the first experience when it comes to about what is sex is porn, and it's not a good idea. It should not be your first experience when it comes about sex. It should not be the
inevitably
first
that's what
experience.
most people is because it's the most accessible. The problem is it's so accessible.
No,
Should little kids be watching it? Let me ask you that.
this is me telling you one thing, and you know that anything that touches children, I'm not okay with it. It's just the parent role to educate their children. It's their role to educate them, to avoid them to go to those things and think that this is how sex is supposed to be. Because if we stop making sex so taboo and talk about it with children and say, your body have needs, all that is normal that you have it. But watching porn is not okay to get children to see that, especially teenagers, because that's why I say it should not be your first sexual experience.
But
You
the
have to
reality is
understand
that's
it.
what it is for most people.
Yeah, it's the reality. I agree, but the thing is, you're not their parents, and I'm not their parents. Because if I was, trust me, those kind of shit would
But
not be the problem.
you can't when it's on the internet, you can't control your kids. You can't watch your
Yes,
kids
you can.
24/7. You can't.
You can give them at least like the base to not fuck up.
Yeah, but the thing is, man, like there are kids who are doing things crazier nowadays.
You
There's
and
so
I,
many
we don't have children, so we cannot really speak on
yeah, but
what.
you know, kids nowadays, I've heard of. Look, I'll give you an example. I have a friend whose wife is a social worker.
Mm-hmm.
She was called in to a school because two 7-year-olds, a 7-year-old girl was sucking a 7-year-old boy off in the back of a school bus. And
Yeah.
she asked, "Where did you see this?" She said, "I saw it in a video. I wanted to try it." And
Ew, that's fucked
they
up.
didn't understand. I don't think they were even the kid could actually be sexually aroused. He didn't hit puberty yet. But the
Yeah,
idea is, why are these kids? Would these kids have been doing that? They didn't watch.
but that's where I'm saying that the parent have to be the one educate them, not get them to see those stuff.
how is a parent able to control everything? Did your mom was watching everything you were doing when you were 7 years old?
I was with my aunt at 7. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
was your aunt able to watch everything you did?
I was too poor to have a TV, man.
No, but I'm saying like in general, like when I
Too
was
poor to have a TV.
yeah, but
Watch anything.
nowadays everything is technology is very accessible. Everybody's got
Yeah,
multiple
but you're
phones.
talking
I got
about
two phones right
look.
here.
I have two phones as well.
I got three phones. I have a work phone too.
I have two phones, a tablet, a laptop, and a lot of stuff. The thing
Kids have
is,
it's
no,
very
listen.
accessible.
You are talking about like two different generations. Me on my time when I was 7, I didn't even know what the fuck was a dick.
That's a
I
good
never
thing.
watched that because technology was not there. But if it was there, trusted that I would have probably seen.
7-year-old girls should not know what dicks are.
Exactly. So I blame that on too.
Yeah, and then you know what? In Ontario right now, they have an issue where they're teaching fourth graders about blowjobs and stuff like that. And the problem is you're putting these thoughts into kids' heads.
The problem is they're trying to be so woke with those stupid shit. That doesn't make sense. Let children be children.
Yeah, and then I'm saying porn is part of it because it's losing their innocence of the children.
And sorry for those who are listening and hear me chewing. I'm eating because I'm starving. I didn't eat today, so we're doing the hard way today.
Yeah.
But the other thing that you wanted to talk about when it came to porn and all that, it was the difference between men and women. Because I don't want to go to the part for the children because it's it's too gross. Because it's not something that I will encourage ever. That's the only part where I would say, yeah, you have to have more than limitation. You have to have sanction. They stop it from the get go. Children should not have access to those stuff.
Okay.
But
And yeah.
what I want is just for us talk about like the adult part of adult watching those, not going with the children.
Yeah, but inevitably kids end up watching it.
I know, but again, we cannot go to that conversation because you and I are not parent. We cannot talk about any experience, not just because we heard one thing that it would be the truth for your case. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but eventually.
I'm going
Yeah,
to take you a very simple example.
okay.
I raised my sister. For those who are new to this podcast, my sister and I, we have a huge age gap, and I raised her. Never, ever, she had, even until now, I can tell that she's 13. She have no clue what it is. Some people would just say maybe in the comment and say, "Oh no, that you don't know that." No, I know because my sister is the type that when she discovers something, she's gonna ask us the question. She's gonna ask my mom. She's gonna ask me. That's the part that I'm very proud of her for that. Where she is still innocent with this kind of things. She is not aware of any of that. For her, kiss a boy, she's disgust because for her it's not normal. Even for a girl, whatever. Because now we have to be accepting non-binary at 12. But okay, even that. But the thing is, it's just again those situations or the extreme that you get. Yes, they are existing. Unfortunately, they do exist. But I don't want it to be the one giving opinion on something that I am not experienced as a parent. I'm talking when we were talking about this subject that we agreed to talk about. For me, it was about experience as an adult. I'm not going to the children. Yes, I know that. Unfortunately, they will still watch it. Look at what they have on TikTok. What's the name of that fucking app?
TikTok.
Yeah, same difference. That thing, Instagram, everywhere. Even the idol, like those Kardashian. The girl had a lip filler at 17. People made it acceptable. They were not even peeping anything but saying that she was 17 and dating a grown ass 25-year-old man.
Well, I'm saying like, okay, that's a completely other topic. But I mean,
Still in the same lane. Is their role model?
yeah, but that's another topic. We don't need to touch on that here.
It's still the same topic on that.
But I'm saying that has nothing to do with porn.
I'm drinking.
Yeah. What is that? Tim Hortons?
No.
What is
Rice
it?
ball. Rice ball deluxe.
Yeah. It's good.
So good. Love it. Every time when I come here, I always order from them because they're so far away from where I live. They're in the west, right? They don't have anything in the north like that. So good.
I'm saying right now, in terms
Hey,
of we're getting into the topic of degeneracy, porn, and like I'm saying, even as an adult, first of all, it's exposed to you way before you're an adult, so we have to inevitably talk about it, how it affects kids, because one thing always leads to another thing, which is true. And next, I'm saying even as an adult, I've already pointed multiple ways with marriage, with intimacy, with how you view other people, with the objectification of other people. Like you don't look as a man will just look at a woman as just an object. Like you have to realize when someone watches porn,
They don't need one to look at
they're,
women as
they're looking. They're all the person. Those people just exist as a canvas to get to release their bodily fluids. There's no concept of this is a person. This is a being. These are people with feel. It's just you're just a tool used to
Have
make.
you ever watched porn?
I've seen it, but I'm saying it's a fact. It's not. I mean, it's you dehumanize
Stop
people.
using the word facts by saying that you're dealing the facts. No, what you did is just take example of people who told you that they had ruined their life. It's not facts. It's personal choices there.
I can give you an example here. I knew one guy. I met a guy before, and what he told me was
Again,
he was such a
his
sex addict
personal
that whenever
opinions.
he was driving around the streets of Ottawa and he saw someone very attractive, he had to pull over and jerk off. And I'm saying
That's his personal problem.
that stuff was porn was the
Remember
final.
one thing, you
Yeah,
always have like fucked up friends.
yeah.
And I told you that from the get-go. You have weird friends. You hang out with around like people are not the norm, but the exception. That's why your view on this is very so radicalized on that. That you go with what they had experienced. What someone experienced is not always a fact for anybody else.
No, but I'm saying we could use a general statement to say, is it good or is it bad?
You got me on this thing because when I told you that, yeah, I want us to talk about porn, the idea was just to see the difference between men and women on porn. That's how you got me on it. And now you're just trying to demonize all the conversation about it. And I am done with that part. Now let's go back to lighter stuff.
Okay, so we're not even discussing that. The whole point of this podcast was to make a conversation about this.
No, the point was to make the conversation about it, but your conversation is not even a conversation. It's just a one side and say that no, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. That's
Yes.
what you have been doing the whole time.
Correct.
We are trying to be more nuanced on it. Yes, there are bad people. It's like also with guns. Guns are there. There were people who were doing bad stuff with it. Others they wouldn't even use it, but they will still right.
Yeah.
And the conversation that we were supposed to have, and I'm still getting back to it because that's what you exactly said. That women are more to romanticize the part, and the guy are more visual. That's how I was seeing that. Not that you're gonna corner me with just like, oh, it's bad, it's demonizing, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. Our society is not great. Oh, Arabia Saudi, they don't have as much rape, which is bullshit. I know you want to go viral, but it's not gonna happen with me. Not today.
I mean, the point is to have it. Yeah, sometimes it's good to have. If we agreed on every single topic,
We don't agree. Listen, we don't agree on every single topic.
Yeah.
But we come around to respect the other one opinion. I respect your opinion, but I don't like that you're trying to put me as well, and you the way that you explain that. That's how I interpret it. That you put me into the same category as those degenerate who do fuck up stuff.
No, I'm not putting you.
Supposed to
I'm
watch.
saying that you can use it healthy. You can. There's a healthy form, a way to watch this stuff. But
I'm defending the healthy way. I don't want you to just like put every negative experience that you heard of about porn and put that way.
But
Because the people who tell you that porn had a fuck up the marriage, they're also lying to you because they're not telling you the full story.
well, the
It's
guy.
probably the tip of the iceberg. It's the tip of the fucking iceberg.
Well, I'm saying the one thing that guy did, he cheated. But they said that a part of his cheating was because his wife couldn't satisfy him. Because, but let me ask you something. If you develop a very strong fetish, and then you marry someone who doesn't have that fetish at all, are you gonna still be craving that fetish after you get married?
You want to answer to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
So let's say I'm going to answer you that with just about saying, right now you like to have a beard, right?
Yeah,
It's your thing.
yeah,
You
right
go
now.
to your marriage, Are you gonna keep that beer?
Maybe, probably, yes.
So now you have the answer of your question.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I'm gonna keep doing what I'm
It's
doing.
just like it's kind of like your question is kind of like saying that yeah, change your personality for someone that you marry. Fuck no. They have to take you with your full baggage. That's the part. That's why like the subject that the day that we're gonna have that subject onto it, and we're gonna talk about that one. When we were gonna talk about arranged marriage in the other episode, that's where for me it's important to know the person that you're gonna make your life with, because at least you can make the decision whether or not to make your life with them instead of surprise you stuck with me.
I can use another example here when it comes to porn. So I knew a guy. It was an arranged. He was a guy. He was looking for an arranged marriage. He had a foot fetish. He likes feet. Feet has always been his thing.
Nice.
So he was going up to me. He's like, well, and then he's like, I'm in the process. I'm looking to get married.
Mm-hmm.
I need your opinion. Should I go and talk to this girl and mention that I like this stuff? And I said, to be honest with you, you should, because it's better to be upfront about what you. And you know
Yep.
what happened? That girl was he's like, okay, I'll be honest and tell her that I like this. And that girl said, ew, gross. And then it got called off. And then he said, what the hell? You ruined my thing. And
No, no.
bro,
You
I saved
said
you
that
from
in
a
my
divorce.
thing. I'm sorry.
But
So it would be no, no, no. Look, it would be like a quirk that someone have. Like they say, I like collection miniature cars just because that one is more acceptable. And he said that to the girl. She's not into it.
what I feel like a girl would more than likely accept you like to collect miniature cars more than you like because then all of a sudden because the problem is with feet
I
fetish.
take that as an example. You can have fishes for hands for whatever.
Yeah, but the problem with the feet fetish is that you're affecting your partner.
On how?
My car collection is not affecting anybody. I'm just keeping it to myself.
Don't you dare go there. Don't you dare.
Yeah, I like
No,
shoes.
the car collection can also affect the person.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
not to the same level.
The same exactly
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
level.
You're not I'm not forcing you to get involved in my car.
It's just no. The difference is just because one thing is like an object that is a miniature car, and the other thing is just because it's on
Yeah,
someone
but then
body.
you're because if you have a foot fetish, you're gonna force your partner to participate in
I
it.
have a shoe fetish. Are you gonna get? I'm
You
not
do have a
forcing
foot.
anybody.
I do have a shoe fetish as well.
No, you have sneakers fetish. It's not
Yeah,
shoes.
same thing.
No, no, hey, don't you dare go there. You know me and my shoes.
Yeah.
Don't you go.
If you see my shoe collection, it's pretty nice.
You have sneakers. Those are not shoes.
Same thing. It's
No,
sneakers or
it's not.
shoes.
They're a very specific type of shoes.
Yeah.
You have the heels, you have the flat, you have the boots, you have the sneakers, you have other type of shoes. Those are not. Mm-mm.
Okay.
You have a sneaker fetish.
Yes.
Don't you go there. And you know I'm fucked up when it comes to shoes.
Yeah. So I'm saying right now, okay, we have this thing. Okay, we could have an episode entirely about shoes one of these days. But now that's fringe. But another point
Mhm.
to make about this. So right, you have this thing. Okay, let's say if I know my partner is really into bondage or like torture stuff, I
That's
know that if I marry this person, they're gonna expect me to do that stuff with them.
no, that's the thing that you don't understand.
They
Okay.
will.
No, no, it's like when people talk about BDSM and because they watch a 50 Shade of Grey and think that that's the shit. No, it's not working like that. Because first of all, that community, what happened? They all agree and they have similar interests. You didn't bring that and force that on your partner. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
When
but inevitably, if you
when you
don't, if
put
your
that up,
partner's not, if you really want to do it, and your partner's
no,
not doing
no,
it,
no, no, no. It's not how it goes.
you'll
You
be.
don't force anything onto your partner.
Do you not think that okay? Let's say you're a guy. If a guy wants to be intimate, or let's say a guy has a very high sex drive and the woman doesn't, if his
They
wife is
shouldn't be
refusing to do
together.
it, inevitably it's either going to cause strain in the
They
marriage, or
shouldn't
what
be
somebody's going to.
together.
Yeah,
They shouldn't be together. Or maybe she have a medical condition that make her not very much like a sex driver.
or maybe she's like when women get pregnant, they have kids. Eventually, they don't want to do that stuff as much.
Dude, do you know what happened to a woman when she gets pregnant?
Estrogen and stuff, but you don't
Do
have.
you want to go there? Because seriously, I'm gonna go fuck you up on that.
I'm saying that like
And by
people.
the way, for the listener, I'm not angry. It's just me being very animated. I'm black, okay? Let's use that stereotype there.
Yeah.
The thing is,
You're not aware fully what happened on the woman body. It's not just a little tiny bit that you heard about that about libido, whatever. The thing is, when a baby is born, depending, some is just take everything and it take them months before getting back to their usual stuff. I'm not even talking about physically, like the libido to come back. It's not even on their control. Their hormone just gone.
Yeah, I'm saying some guys will say, "What the heck? My wife's not giving it up to me."
Well, the guy
Maybe.
have also to make some effort and make some research a little bit and shut the fuck up. Push
I've
out
seen,
a fucking full form human being of your body and then we talk.
I've
Now
seen,
here I'm angry.
I've seen dudes say, "What the heck? My wife's not doing it. I might have to seek
Well,
something."
fuck those dude. I would be like, well, let's try to get a kid out of your fucking dick, but the human size that come out of a vagina, and then we talk. There you go. I use the wrong word. I'm sick of and tired of those kind of stuff. Yeah, but what does it need? What about the woman? Her body have to heal. She carried for 9 months a human that you have created and didn't do shit to get out.
No, you contributed your sperm.
That's the only contribution that you did. Did you carry the baby in your belly during the
No,
pregnancy?
can't,
Did
but
you
I
have anybody pressing onto your bladder every 5 seconds? Did you have any back pain? Did your internal was move up and down? Did you have 2 weeks straight of fucking period? No. So don't you dare come talk about how a woman should heal or not.
I know,
When
but
she have a baby?
men can't.
No,
It's not our
no,
fault we're male.
no.
We
Abid,
couldn't.
Abid, don't go there. Shut up on that. Shut the fuck up on that. You're not you never will be a woman, you will never experience what they go through.
That's
Don't
true.
go there. Any of those assholes who keep saying, oh yeah, whatever about their wife, fuck them, cut their dick and put that in their throat.
Okay, I mean that's fair. But I'm saying the whole point is to have a nuance between men and women. So I mean, can a woman truly experience
I'm sorry.
the guys
I'm
experience?
sorry. Oh, my apologies. I didn't say anything about the woman know what the men go through. I'm not talking about that. I'm just sorry that after producing a fucking human being coming out of your body, I cannot satisfy my man sexually because this asshole is so selfish that there's another human that is taking his place. But I still need to make sure that my very floppy vagina will just satisfy him.
Some guys think like that. That's a reality.
Yeah, I know, and that's dumb because they need therapy. They need that, or they need a slap of my hand on their face or their dick, something, a punch on their dick. Yeah.
I know. That's why I think that some men maybe we could have a conversation. Some guy I've seen a few guys argue that monogamy is not that natural because naturally guys want to get with multiple people. So maybe there needs to be a method that you're having rights with that your wife, but you have a venue that you could do things without it being cheating. So maybe if you had more than one wife, then
So in that case, I will ask just one simple question. So why all of your ancestors created fucking marriage then if they didn't want monogamy? Because that wasn't a woman idea. It was a dude who decided, yeah, I'm gonna trade you my daughter so then you can give me a little bit more of your riches.
yeah, you can have you can.
So don't come. No, I don't want them to come to turn that around and say, "Oh, but women want monogamy, not men." No, you create that shit. Now deal with it.
No, monogamy and marriage are not exclusive things. You can have marriage without monogamy.
No.
You just have to have an agreement. It's a contract. What the point of marriage is that women at one time were property, so now you have rights. So
Yeah, but
all
look,
you now
no,
what you have.
let's go back to that one again because I love history.
Yeah.
You just said monogamy and marriage is two different things,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
It became two different things because society made it that like it's not acceptable anymore to be whatever. Marriage became is being seen as like that worst thing ever, which is not. It's still a good thing. It's a sacred thing. I still believe in it. But the difference is not even the different. The likeness of it is just that simple. Before marriage exists, it was just a way to confirm that you're the dad of that child because monogamy was not in our brain. If women could, we will have multiple husbands. Trust me, I will have an harem. I will have 5 guys. Listen, I say that to my own man, my boyfriend. I told him that. If I could, I had like a polygamy for women, I will have 5 guys, one for each day of the week, except Sunday and Saturday and Sunday. I will get that. Even though he said that he will skip the line to be the one to go in my bed, I will have 5 fucking dudes.
No, but the reality is women have a limited number of eggs, men have multiple sperm.
That's the problem.
So you have to be
No,
selected.
yes, that's where the problem comes from too.
Yeah.
Look at the hypocrisy of this sentence.
Yeah.
A woman can be pregnant once a year. A man can have how many people pregnant in a year? 365.
Yeah.
Because that jerk off, he can just do that all the time, Nick Cannon. But
Shout
how
out to Nick
come?
Cannon.
Yeah, fuck him. But again, that comes almost like you're talking about a woman right and men right and all that. But the thing is, we have to recognize one thing: the one who had created the monogamy kind of type of way is a man.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
like monogamy.
because you know what? They didn't trust the woman and say that, oh, if she get pregnant, she can have like multiple guys. No, we can get pregnant by one dick only, one at a time.
Yeah, but then
not
think, but then think about it. You have
But after a moment, it's just that how that indoctrination started, it was pretty smart because after that, the women were just like, oh, well, I would just want to be with one man only. Do you think that really in like the Bronze Age, we wanted to just like fuck with the same
yeah,
disgusting
but it's a
woman
security.
as men?
It's a
No.
security for the woman if you do it that way. Because let's say if you have
For
one,
what? You can still end up in an abusive
if you
relationship.
have
It's
one,
not the
if
security.
a man has multiple wives, you're gonna know who the mother and the father is.
I
If a
come
woman has
from.
multiple husbands, you're not gonna know who the father is.
I come. So what? Who give a shit?
That's the whole point. It's
No,
structure.
no. That's you want to put people equal? Let fuck everybody equally. You have a 5 husband, you have 5 wives. We cool. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but
Every
then
year, no. Listen, when it's gonna happen? Every year, each husband will have a child. There you go.
then how are you gonna know who's the baby's daddy if you're having
We
multiple?
don't give a shit. It's selfish to do that.
That's the point.
No, because this the thing is just that to save your own descendant, your own DNA. You don't give a shit about the rest.
No, but it's a liability for the woman too, because the woman wants security.
No, because we have been indoctrinated society wise. That's how we have been said that. Yeah, but for the woman, blah, blah, blah. Nah, enough.
You don't think the woman wants security? Though, don't you think having security is knowing who the mother and who the father is?
Do you think they know? Listen, I come from a background where polygamy is a thing. One of my aunts is the second wife of 3. When those kids are kids, they don't know which one is their mom.
Yeah, but is your wife
No,
is your aunt okay with it?
Did she had any choice?
Well, yeah, she could have said no to the guy.
No, she had no choice because he already paid the dowry. In my back home, someplace in Africa, is that it's the men paying for the woman, not the other way.
Okay, you pay for the maher. Okay, right, you pay for it.
He already paid the dowry to her dad.
Yeah.
The dad did all that on her back and didn't even say shit. She was already sent off. And her daddy was not my grandpa, by the way, just to let you know that.
Well, nowadays, even in arranged marriages, you have the ability to say no. Like you have to agree to want to.
Yeah, because now it's the case, but at the time it was not.
Yeah.
That dog agreed with me.
Yeah.
We want to go outside. Keep talking.
Okay. Shout out to dogs.
Anyhow, I'm back. He doesn't want to go outside, stupid ass. He wants to eat my food. I'm not gonna give him.
Okay, but yeah, but back to my point. Like, okay, like pay the dowry. Okay, I'm saying that's generally speaking. We could have another conversation because arranged marriages versus love marriages. Still, at the end of the day, there's a lower divorce rate amongst those marriages than the typical love marriages. So clearly, there's something that's working with them. But that's another topic.
That's your point. That's your opinion. I don't agree with that.
No, it's a statistical evidence. There's less. The divorce rate is lower with those marriages than regular marriages.
When you're stuck, yeah.
When you're stuck, but then you have to also think that it's about family honor. It's about the family. It's about other.
That's
things.
why I say when you're stuck, yeah.
Yeah, people want to make
when
it.
You are stuck.
But I think, don't you think you're supposed to marry for life? You're not supposed to quit at any moment. When you're there's beauty to saying I'm gonna do what it takes to make it work.
If you say so.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have that discussion, but I mean, that's another thing.
Yeah. So let's talk about 50 Shades of Grey stupid shit.
50 okay, so I'm saying some people get off to literature, some people get off to visual, men are visual. And
Mhm.
I don't know, I mean that's
Doesn't
the
mean they're
nature.
both.
So that means that like Pornhub or whatever, it's different. So because women are less visual, so people get off to reading it.
It's not true.
So and I mean even the act of reading it, that means you want to build the suspense, you want to build the emotion in your head. You want to
Okay.
build, yeah.
So for this kind of thing, I'm going to tell you about some apps that are available on Google Play and all that stuff. First one is called Chapters. I'm on it. I like it. So it's always where you build kind of like your perfect guy, like with the different version that they have there. So sometimes it will be a billionaire that you meet, someone that is your best friend. Sometimes it's just like just a random dude, and then weirdly enough, he find you like very attractive, and then you just like you two you just hit it off right away. But they always throw in the meantime like a jealous ex or someone who's gonna make it a little bit difficult, and the sex scene are pretty graphic, very graphic. And that's where we're kind of like, yes, we're reading that. You know why? Because we know how to hide those disgusting stuff that we have in our mind.
So
That's why we read those
so
kind of stuff
there's an
instead of
app that
watching.
creates literotica based off characters you create.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm saying, is that good? Because what you've done is create a
Oh,
fantasy that's not real.
yeah, they're good. They're good stories.
Yeah, and then what are you gonna do? Like you're gonna be craving that,
No,
and then when real life is not living up to the fantasy, you're gonna be inevitably being disappointed.
that's the role of a fantasy, is to live that in that fantasy world. It's not to bring that in real life.
Do you think people, if they have with enough money and power, try to recreate their fantasies in real life?
Maybe.
Yeah, if I could. So there's a lot of guys, they want to get with these like, I don't know, supermodels, but they can't. But then when they have enough money and power, they could.
Ask your best friend Drake. That guy is ugly, more ugly than my butthole because my butthole has a better
Yeah,
face.
but then
Him, for example, look, all of those beautiful women who throw themselves at him because they have money.
and he has power and fame and clout. And
Yeah,
I'm not. You're saying he's ugly. Some women find him attractive. Beauty's in the
he's
eye.
ugly. He have a permanent duck face. What is hard about it? And also his nose, he look like someone drawn it with a bad pencil. He's ugly. Normally, I'm into like mixed guy, but seriously, he's the one of the first ugly mixed guy I ever saw in my life.
But I'm
I
saying
think
like,
one day someone gonna make a compilation every time that I have roasted Drake. But
yeah,
like,
you've dissed Drake multiple times on this. Like,
come at me, bro. I can fight you. Maybe you did your weird
I'm
fake
not worried. Like,
video.
if we ever get famous,
Listen,
then Drake watches this and then he gets pissed off because you've been dissing him for like the
I don't
entire.
give a shit. I will keep dissing him even in his face. If he want, he can cry. I will fuck him up.
If he was right here, right now, would you be dissing him?
I will. Oh hell yeah! I will roast that ass like so bad. Those fake abs, the fake pegs that he will put, like, oh yeah, the liposuction. I'm gonna body shame that bitch so hard. You're gonna hate me. His voice is annoying.
But you know, at the end of the day, Drake has achieved a lot of success.
Unfortunately,
He's
good
he's
for
put
him.
on-
You know what? No, I'm gonna say that. Good for him.
he's represented Canada. He's represented Toronto.
No, he's not representing me. I'm Canadian, and he does not represent me. I say good for him because he was able to fool a lot of people by saying that he's a good artist, but he's not that talented. Sorry. Unpopular opinion: Drake is not the shit.
But there's a certain point where you achieve enough success that even if you don't like someone's music, you have to respect them. Look at the numbers.
I don't
You know,
respect this
you
guy.
remember JC said men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
Who said that?
Men lie, women like
Who?
Jay Z.
Jay-Z. Oh,
Jay-Z.
God.
Yeah, so he
Again,
said
another one. Another one.
look at Drake's numbers, man. I'm not saying he's the best artist. I don't personally think he's that great.
You
He's
know
not my
what?
favorite.
In
We
a
have to.
couple, in a couple Destiny, nobody will remember him.
I think they will, man. Look at how many
No,
numbers album.
no, they won't. Listen, I will take you some a big example, like in the 60s. That's for you, the young Gen Z who were born in 2000. I won't tell you about the history here. In the 60s, you had some artists that were selling crap load of album, crap load, doing better than the one that we call Legend today. But nobody remember who the fuck they are. They don't even know who they are. They'll be familiar with some of the music. Like, I heard that music before, but name them, no clue. And that's gonna happen to Beach Drake.
But don't you agree that there's certain artists who have more star power? Like, look, I'm saying Kendrick is a better artist than Drake. Okay, but
This is
Drake, who has
not
more
even a
star
question.
power? Who has more star power? It's Drake.
Because Drake is so much in your face. He follow every fucking trend. This guy, look how many albums he had put out since 2018. He just drop new album every 5 seconds. How are you able to find ideas? Because after a moment, people are going to realize that all he do is just hopping on the trend because his albums are not timeless. They'll mark with the time. If you
Yeah, but
listen to Take Care, you know that is what was years that? Was that 2012?
2010.
Same difference. See how much I
Take
don't
Care
give a
is
shit
2010.
about him. Yeah. The album was in the early 2010s. You listen that to here today, you will be like, it's not vibing the same way. But if you listen to stuff, even though I'm not the biggest Beehive, I'm not even a Beehive. I'm not the biggest Beyonce fan ever. But at least you know that some of her albums are timeless. You can listen to that anytime, and then it will still have the same impact on you. You listen to Single Lady, even though it came out almost a decade ago, it still hit. But you listen to one of his songs from Daycare today, you'll be like, yeah, also 2000 something.
Yeah, but the idea is you're giving your fans music. Like if we have a society where everything is like 15 seconds of fame, 50. People will forget you.
Drake is the fast food of music.
If you, the thing
He's
is,
the McDonald's of music.
how many
The
people
city.
when Drake came up,
No.
how many realistically he came up with what J. Cole cut? How many people from his generation are still like active in like the top main guys? 3 guys really. But I would say Drake is the forefront. He's more popular than J. Cole and Kendrick. So I said how it's very hard to stay famous time and time again. There's maybe a handful of artists that can do it.
Mm-mm.
And I get Kanye, Wayne, Jay
Listen,
Z,
the difference is just that again, Kanye, as
Eminem.
fucked up as Kanye is, he's talented. You cannot disagree with that. This
Hey,
guy know.
Drake ain't talented.
Let me finish my fucking sentence.
Yeah.
Kanye, whatever fuckery he gonna say, you're not gonna deny that he's talented. You can still listen to Graduation today and say, "Damn, yes." And that album almost came out close to 20 years ago. But Harry face Voldemort. Hell no. I don't think he's talented. I think that sometimes he's lucky that he got the right collab and maybe he hits. His biggest luck was that he was associated to Rihanna. That's the only time that I would just like, girl, I forgive you, but please don't you ever do that mistake again. Thank you for ASAP Rocky. He cute.
Yeah, I mean, objectively, A$AP Rocky's not a bad looking guy. I'm not gonna deny that. But I'm saying for Drake, Drake makes hits. People want to be associated with him.
Yeah, he makes hits, but he doesn't make legacy.
But it's at the end of the day, people are gonna look at what are your numbers.
Stop with no. You're looking at the number today, but in 10 years, maybe the music way to consume it will be different, and someone gonna come and top it off. We're gonna be like Drake, who Voldemort with hair. Okay,
that's fair. I mean, Drake is Drake. Well, one of these days,
and you also watch porn. He had a baby with a porn star. There you go.
yeah. So I'm not saying I don't support all of it. I don't think that's a good thing. And to be honest, Drake was ashamed of that baby.
Yeah, unfortunately,
because of porn.
No, he was ashamed because of the industry that she was in,
Because
and also because he was praying so much and being like, I want Rihanna to be my wife. I want her to have my babies. Oh, look, I had 52 different diamonds rings that I wanted to offer to different girls. Like, shut the fuck up. Stop with that game. We're sick of you of pretending to be a sissy and knowing that you're a bitch. Yeah, I hate Drake.
No, I'm saying like, okay, like look at this, right? He was ashamed. And you know, when Pusha T was making that diss record.
No, I think that no, the thing is he wasn't ashamed of that kid. I think that he was more ashamed that he got heart that he didn't get the woman that he really wanted to be pregnant. And he was ashamed that he had the audacity to do that to Rihanna.
Do you see in Pusha T's verse when he was dissing her, he said,
I
"Forget she's
love
a," he said, "Forget she's a porn star. Let her be your world." So he said he dissed him. He's pointing the fact that he's like, "You got pregnant with a porn star. You made a porn star pregnant."
Yeah, but it was so good.
Yeah, but he was insulting him on that
I
point.
was hoping that he would end Drake's career and we will forget about that beige nonsensery.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Pusha T definitely beat him. I've met Pusha T's a nice guy.
He's
Pusha
great.
T, Pusha T beat him on. He's a better technical rapper than Drake. But it's not about being a better technical rapper.
Drake is not a rapper. To me, he's not a rapper. He's a pop star singer. That's all. He's a pop star.
Have you ever seen that one freestyle he did with that British rapper? I forget what he did, and he had like he can go bar for bar with people. Like he's
Because he
I'm not,
can't.
I'm not saying he's like the best rapper in the world.
Because he can't.
Like he can. He's not Kendrick.
To
But
me, every time that I hear Drake, even in the collab, I feel like he's ruining the music, the song. Like the song from Rihanna, Work. I like that song, but when he starts to sing, I stop dancing because my God, it's annoying. His voice does not match with that. It's not cool.
He's a
And
transition.
also, there are other songs that he did. For example, when he was with Young Money, same thing. I was like, yeah, Bedrock, it's my shit. And then he started to open his mouth. Like, fuck, why you ruin everything?
Hotter than wasabi. I race for your love. Shake and bake Ricky Bobby. I'm at the W, but you can't meet me in the lobby. I don't know.
You had a baby with a porn star. Shut the fuck up, Drake. The baby cute. That's the only thing. Just saying that your sperm maybe can produce cute stuff, but you have to stop. Please, I'm done with your face.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's inevitably if you sell that much, it's like look at part of why the Beatles have such a legacy is because of look at what they sold. Look at what Michael Jackson sold.
It's not that. No. Hey.
Drake is putting up Michael Jackson numbers, right? Just not them.
Do you know how many people can just to stream the same thing again? Sometimes you don't even need the real numbers. Those are still manipulable. Okay? Michael Jackson, the Beatles, they were putting out physical fucking music. The people will go out, line up, waiting for days to get their hand on it. That's real genius. And also talented songwriters, talented musician. Even though I'm not a fan of Beatles, I was more a Rolling Stone fan than Beatles. So it's not just about numbers. It's just that until today, people will listen to Beatles, no problem.
I mean, the medium change of people. If it was physical copies, people would be buying physical copies of Drake albums.
I don't think so.
He has a diehard fan
His
base.
numbers are more about one song at a time. You go back there.
Have you seen his fan base, man?
The what?
His fan base. He has a very loyal fan base.
Well, Drake fan,
Yeah.
listen to me, guys. Get out when you can. Stop making me rich because you're gonna still produce shit stuff for you. You're welcome. It was a free advice. Next time, that I will give you that advice. It will be when I will be face to face. If he come to this podcast, he had the audacity to come. I will roast him.
We'll see.
I will roast his ass, and you can remind him what he did to you the Western Montalvo.
Yeah, shout out to Drake, man. I don't got a problem with you. She does.
You do.
I mean,
He's
Drake.
I don't like him. I don't like him, and I don't understand the hype around that guy. Seriously.
He's had a couple good songs, at least. Have you ever heard that song Headlines? It's pretty good.
I don't know.
I might be too strong out for confidence. Overdose on confidence. Started fading way too long. I'm floating in and out of confidence. And they said that I'm back.
Okay, enough. No.
They just said I take it all my time. I still believe in that. I know the game. Said I still got it like that.
You're right now in my head. You have a lot of porn star ejaculating on your face and your mouth.
Oh, don't do it. Please don't do it. Because
God,
Drizzy got the money, so Drizzy gon' pay it.
stop saying that. I don't want to be hit with copyright.
They know. But you have to. That's a catchy song.
Good Kid, Mad City is a fucking amazing song.
Yeah, I'm not denying. I like Kendrick. Kendrick is dope. I'm saying Drake makes some catchy songs.
Not catchy for me.
I know when that hotline bling.
Okay, we were talking about porn.
That can only mean one thing. Okay, that's not very ladylike.
Go fuck yourself.
Okay, so
Huh?
right now, back to
I've
the
been cussing the whole time,
yeah.
burping, even while we were talking. And you say that it's not ladylike for me to burp? Something that is natural? I'm not a lady. I'm an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, but you never heard about things about like women need to act feminine. So I heard a guy argue. I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, I know.
They say women are. They say when you stand on a train, you can't be spreading your legs. You have to sit cross-legged.
If I have jeans, no. I spread. I do the men thing. I set my legs wide.
So yeah.
Anyhow. So yeah,
Anyways,
I was telling you for those alternative those app that are available because it's not just one, there's a lot of them. They call them romance, this and that. It's just because they don't show you the image of like the sex act, but it's very descriptive.
yeah. So it's part of the same thing. I don't know whether to call that porn or not. Maybe it is porn for some people.
It can be. It's just because I would say the approach is different.
Yeah.
The problem is just that again, as you said, there's no like storyline. Well, I was the one saying that. There's no storyline onto when it comes to porn. Just that you see people
Sometimes there's acting.
what acting.
There's acting in the porn.
Yeah. I'm the plumber.
Okay. Yeah. Can you come fix my pipe?
And 2 seconds later, the acting is gone. They're fucking.
Yeah.
So that is the part that they add onto those romance novel where you still have like the normal stuff to do, and after that, you also have to choose the outfit for the right date.
Don't you think that as a whole, women are more or less visual than men? Men are visual, so that's why porn is usually
No,
made.
I think we are equally the same. It's just that some women are maybe more visual than others, but it's just that we want to be more discreet of what kind of shit we watch.
Yeah. So then it's a
Well,
different.
because when you read those stuff, it's like something that you can still hide. It can be a physical book. Look, the 50 Shades of fucking Grey. They are physical books. A woman can hide that under her bed. But the thing is, for porn, especially when you watch that now on computers, it will be in your search history if you're not smart enough.
Yeah. I
But it's
read.
too easy
I
to
I
replace
read
it.
50 Shades of Grey. My coworker had it. It's a to be honest, the writing is terrible. It's stupid.
That's the point.
Like I
It
mean,
has to be the most, the dumbest scenario ever, and also taking from rom-coms from the 90s kind of shit. Because it's not even that's the part that is interesting to us. It's just when they're gonna fuck.
yeah, but then I don't think it's how. I mean, it takes a really good author to describe it in a way that really gets people hooked.
No, even like before all those apps exist, there was something that some women that if they are listening and watching this podcast would know exactly which one I'm talking about. It's called Harlequin. They are like a specific type of book. They're like edition book for just romance novels. Okay. Well, you have the actor Fabio, the guy with long hair and all that on the cover. That's the section of those books. In there, the description is nasty. Like you'll be surprised to know that women are more graphic in their description than men. Way more graphic. And we don't care about the other storyline, the way they write it, because all we want is to get to the action and see that hot dude with a massive ding dong taking the heroine that you think that is you that he's taking. Have you watched the Netflix show Big Mouth?
The cartoon
Yeah.
I've seen bits of it. Is it good?
Oh, it's funny. On the first season, there were one part where the girls are talking about exactly that, where guys, the boys discovered that girls also can be horny, but they didn't know how it was possible. So there was that book. There was something of Gibraltar, and the main character, her name was Fatima. No link with me, and any other Fatimas of this planet. And the thing is, the story was this woman fell in love with a guy with not the same confession as her, and also it's a different time. But there's like a sorcerer to try to get them together, turn him to a horse, but they cannot have sex, and that's the thing that was turning them on. And the guys all literally their head explodes because they realize that oh my god, women also can get horny.
but
Yeah,
we're
I mean,
just better at hiding it.
no, I'm not saying, but it's different. Do you agree that for the most part, it's different things that get people off?
No, you know why? It's not that I think that it's different to get people off. It's just because of the history of shame on women desire exists since then. We just learn how to play the game better than you guys. If during all the century they haven't ever shamed women for their sexuality, do you think that we will hide that? No. I think anything that they say, yeah, oh, it's too sexual, we will be the first one to say, no, it's not enough. We can do worse. So
Yeah,
we
but then,
find another way to consume it.
but I created this one thing where like I was talking to a guy about it, where
Mhm.
he's like, the virginity of the woman is something that needs to be protected because they said a woman. They said it's a key and a lock scenario. I've seen the guy say that, and they said inevitably they said okay. I said both sides are a play, but
You're
he's like,
watching too much manosphere type of shit to say
yeah.
that.
But then he says his logic was if you create if you have more women protecting themselves, eventually as a result of that, you'll have more men protecting themselves because the women will give it up.
Why is he always peg everything on women?
Because they said
You're able to defend
inevitably
yourself enough.
it's harder for a man to get with a woman than for a girl because women have it easier. Like if you understand how apps work as a man than a woman, women could go on any app and just get multiple because men swipe right on everything. Men
Because you are desperate. That's why you're not selective.
because men yeah and men are more
And you think you have it easier?
women have
You,
on
no,
apps
yourself. Do you think that you have it
women have
easy?
more options.
Nah. If you say that we have more option by the creep to the more creepier or the less creepy, maybe. But
Yeah,
no.
but you have at least you have some guys don't get anything. There's some guys who'll go on an app and they'll literally get no likes, no responses.
Because I've already told you that. Go watch that episode. We already talked about it. It was the friend zone thing. Where if you want a good advice, like seriously, to have more your chance with women on those app, get your female straight friend, the one who is the more hyped in any fashion way, to take the pictures and put that there and write your bio. Because you know what? She will get you the female perspective instead of the dude where always that stupid selfie where we just it make you look shorter. First of all,
The bathroom one.
the bathroom one, the one in your car, the one where you wear glasses. We also need to see your eyes, okay? And the one that you put with all your group of friends, and then we look at the hardest one. It's not you. Take it off and stop with kidnapping people, babies, and animals to pretend that yeah, you take care or you like animals. Be honest, for fuck's sake. I have seen too many of those shit. I did even a drinking game. I was drunk after 5 minutes because of all that stupid thing. Those stereotypes, always putting the same pictures. Always. That stupid one in the bathroom. That stupid one with a group of friends. You're the one in the car, the one with the sunglasses and the hat in a room. In a fucking room. And someone pet or kid. And then after they say, it's not my child. Why you put a picture of you with someone else kid?
Because to show that you are you have you're a nurturing person.
No. That's called also using a kid. And you know, don't even have the consent to be put on that stupid website.
No, yeah, that's true, but it's you gotta
If
do what you
any
gotta.
guys that are very wanted to have the right girl, that they will swipe right and right now is very droughty, drop a comment below. I can give you the best advice of your life. You're going to
I
change
don't know.
everything.
I don't know. I've talked to my friend about it. Like he's married now, right? But he said that when he was walking around with his little baby, just like taking his kid out for a stroll.
That's different.
He said he never got so much female attention. He said all the women were like, "Oh my god, your kid is so cute." Da, da, da.
It's just an excuse. You know why? Because when people are coming around with that, and that's his kid, it's
Yeah.
just that they look less threatening. So when the man is less threatening, oh, bitch. So it's easier for us to go toward that. So a man with a kid is like, oh, he take care of his kid because this is not a norm, unfortunately, in our society that men should take care of their own offspring and always give them a kudos to do the job that they're supposed to. This is I sound like an angry feminist, but I'm not.
No, but that's no. But I'm saying that like he said, the average guy is not used to getting
type of attention
Yeah.
because
Well, guys are
also,
some
no,
guys are women. Some women will get hit on every other week, or have a
you
guy.
know, you know what? We are just, again, it's the same thing with what we consume, like the sex stuff and all that. We're just smarter about it. We hit on guys all the time, but we don't say shit because, first
But
of all,
you will
no,
know if you
because
hit
you
on
know
it
why?
if you make it obvious. If you say I'm interested in you, but you don't do that. You'll
You know
look kind of
why?
sad while you're eating like lunch or like at Tim Hortons, and you'll like give an eye,
Do
and you're
you
like
know
expecting a
why?
no. What does that mean?
There's a lot of things that are going on.
How am I
Listen,
supposed to know about that?
listen. Women are one of the most vulnerable thing after children, after all elderly people and children. Because why? Men are fucked up. Sometimes all they want is murder someone for no damn reason. You think that we're gonna go there ballsy enough and be, hey, you cute?
Yeah,
No. And also, it's not, as you said earlier, it's not ladylike. You're
sure.
supposed to be the one to hunt us, not the other way around. But your
But then
approach also can, no, your approach need to be fixed. That's the difference.
but if you want to make someone, if you're interested in somebody, how you expect them to know that you're interested?
Look,
Pick up some sign that nobody can check.
I cannot tell you the secret of recipe because I don't know. It took me months before my dude and I kind of realized that yeah, we were eye fucking each other. Because that's all we did. We didn't talk for months. We're just like looking at each other like, I want that. It was like, yeah, I want that. Do something? Nope. Because also the thing is, he could have a girlfriend, and at the time it was the case. I was like, or maybe he's gay. This type of thing. It's just like women will see a hot dude. There will be a crap load of why everything that would say why you cannot go to that person.
So you wrote it off before you even knew this person. You don't know anything about this person. You're writing it off in your head,
That's what we do all the time, man.
and that's normal.
Yes, it's natural selection. And also, you guys, I noticed one thing. You say that, yeah, you do this. You're not too hard to please. But the thing is, you want just someone to throw you a bone in general. But you don't even also take the attention and be like, what can I do to make her notice me?
Yeah, but we don't know if whether you like it or not.
Well, no, we listen, we are the least slick people ever. If we want someone, you can tell. Listen, after all this time, like the first time that him and I we got together, he told me that it was obvious that I was like fucking him. I was just like, how do you want me to hide it? I had a book, I have a hat. I was like, I do it to not look creepy, but I was still I fucking that. It's just that our intention for the guy that we find attractive would not let us go away. The thing is, if you have a good, again, this is something that have nothing to do with the topic that we talk about, but if you have a good female friend that she is straight, even though she is in a relationship, but you're a good friend, you're not friend zoned, just go out with her once and ask her to if any girls like you. And she will be able to spot at least three.
So you could tell, like, if you could be observing somebody, you could tell this person's interested.
That's why I was the wing woman for most of my friends. My guy friends, when we were back in France, I was always the wing woman because I knew the girl that I was like, oh, this one, spot this one. The way that she had, because there's a number, like a specific amount of time that when they're staring, they were always like a sort of game about it. But I don't want to throw away everybody games about that. But there's something about it where they're just like, yeah, not looking too much, and then still there's that flirt, there's that thing, and then they stop. But you will see that the demeanor, and also it would be like physically they will try to get you to notice them because their posture was changed. If they don't give a shit, you will see that they don't even look at your direction, their posture is the same. But if you're like Brad Pitt is walking in the room, I am straight, my boobs are out, look at me. It's just like I want to give you the full visual. Your
Okay.
demeanor change. You try to be flirty even with your eyes. You don't realize it. It's
Hey man,
natural.
I can't pick up on that.
I
I know, but that's why it's a good thing. You should have. I think a lot of people are saying that men and women can't be friends though, but I mean I disagree with that. But
disagree with that.
I think the problem is those guys they
Mm.
find someone they're attracted to
Mm-hmm.
that the person that they want is not attracted to them, so it's like a
Friend
one
zone.
way. Yeah, so it's not real. That's not a real friendship.
Yeah, so it's mean that the thing is, as you were saying, it's not a real friendship because it started first of all with attraction, right? So if you start with the attraction, that's where the problem comes from. Because they weren't you friend with someone, you don't need to be attracted to them. Like two girls will friend with each other, they're not attracted to each other, they just friend. Two guys, the same thing. Straight guys is the same thing. They will just to say, yeah, we vibe on the same thing. And you can also vibe on similar interests when you're a man and a woman, even though you're both of you are attracted to the opposite sex. It doesn't change anything on that. But some people, they don't have this approach. My dude, that's his case. He said that, yeah, men and women cannot be friends. So what we were then, it was like, yeah, you would just, we would, I would just like, what were we? Because for 4 years, him and I, we were just friends. There were nothing about fuckery.
I said sometimes if you're looking for a friendship, you're not seeking that other stuff.
No,
And
you
that's
don't take the physicality of it.
yeah.
Because when you look for, I would say the friendship come from if you find that person intriguing, or if you're just like, you have something in common. That's how you go with that. At first, you will be maybe hating something like a job.
Yeah.
Remember when we were working at TV? That's how
Yeah.
you and I, we start to connect, and then we'll talk about different things, and then notice that we have more stuff in common. It wasn't like I will bang that or I will bang that. No, it was just basically two human interacting.
Yeah. I know. That job was a vibe because just how the everyone, but it's just like everybody was to. It's like I feel like you couldn't for like these people were all met together. We were all meant to meet each other at that same time.
I
One of
believe
the
that too.
yeah.
I believe that too.
Yeah.
We were a great fucking group, man.
Yeah. You don't have that. I'm thinking about it now
Mm,
because I have a couple coworkers I consider my friends, but
mm.
it's not the vibe like that. I feel
It's
like
not
that
as
thing.
much as what we had because the one that we have, it was another level of friendship, I would say.
Yeah.
It almost became like we are like long lost family members.
Yeah.
Because remember the first time we all went out together? That was nuts.
Yeah.
We were just
Even
like, damn, it felt like we did that all life. Like we were always going to those pubs and just hang out.
I don't think I'll ever have that with another group of like coworkers again. But it's
Yeah.
okay. I'm glad
Same.
that it happened. Yeah.
Stop sniffing my
I mean, it
hands.
tells you enough. Like you're at your bit, you're dog sitting, your
Mhm.
friend from there.
Yep.
I forget last time when I was in the UK, I was
Mm.
talking to Tom and he was telling me, come to Ireland and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah. Stuff like that. Like these are people that
I
will
know. It's just that crazy. It's just that sometimes with our group of friends, I noticed that we don't need to see each other as much, but sometimes when we just talk to each other, it's like we never lost that connection.
yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah, man, I'm a glad thing. I'm glad it happened. That was a good
Mhm.
time. Shout out to
It's a
2015.
Yeah, it's a great vibe to have. And I would say that for a lot of people, they need to have that in their life to be balanced so that you not become addicted to porn and try to chop off people. Or
Yeah.
stop joking off too much. There are other way to have pleasure.
Yeah, but do you think okay, there's addiction to masturbation. But is
Mhm.
it is a masturbation addiction a porn addiction or are there two separate things?
They can be two separate things and combined.
I feel like one thing is sort of another thing. Like they both
Yeah,
sort of yeah.
yeah, it would be similar, but it would be. It's just that sometimes some they need a simulation, so it's meaning visual to watch porn to want and jerk off. Others they just want to do it for no damn reason. Like those would just like to expose themselves for no fucking reason. They're fucked up.
See, my thing is like that the where a lot of where my argument came from was I was talking to some people who say that like if you get so into it,
Mm,
he's like eventually even if you're with your partner and you want to get intimate, you can't get off unless you're watching that. So
that's
then you
true.
just something
That's
gets you in
true.
your head. You're like, why? How come I'm with this person, but I still need that to get off?
Mm.
Is that
Some people
isn't
are
that a
like
problem?
that. Yeah.
Is that a problem?
I think yeah, it is a problem. If you think that, I would just say go seek help because it's always like you were saying. There's a root of issues somewhere, but I'm not always going to peg that on porn. But I would just say that if you're seeing that there's an issue for you to be intimate with your partner, that without watching this, go see a fucking therapist because they will probably unlock something that you decide to bury inside of you, but peg that on porn. to replace. It's kind of like you have this hand heavy, and then you just put the thing in the other hand, basically, but forget about the other one that exists.
No, but eventually that becomes your comfort zone. What if that's the only thing that gets you off? Like, because that's what
Me?
you develop. No, but like, what if somebody gets so comfortable with that
Mhm.
that nothing else can turn them on or arouse them?
Go see a PhD psychologist, psychiatrist. Therapy, best remedy ever. Therapy. I don't have the answer. I don't have
But
a
also, yeah,
PhD. I stopped in high
we have
school.
another.
Okay?
Sometimes I think a lot of therapists give you a lot of common sense information. To be honest, I feel like there's
No.
some good ones.
So the thing is, therapist is not just there to give you answer. They're also here to listen. And after that, they will give you some tools on how maybe get better. I know I went to therapy and that was the case. They didn't give me everything handy or give me advice. They listened to me, they observed what happened, and then they just told me some keyword here and there who have make me think and be like, holy shit, that's true. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
But generally, I would just say that people need help. That's very unfortunate that they have to find comfort into so many things that are not healthy and can be addictive
Yeah.
instead of seeking the proper help and support that they need. Because unfortunately, we are in a world where, again, I told you, men are not allowed to express their emotion. And I know I shit a lot on Drake, all that, because he's a fucking bitch. But beside that, I still recognize the fact that he's one of the rare artists that is not ashamed of singing about that a woman broke his heart or maybe his dick. I don't know. Hopefully, the dick, she broke it. But at least that's the thing that, you know what? I respect that. He's not ashamed about saying that, yeah, he cried over a woman that he was hoping to have a family with her, even though I know that he's still acting like those crusty assholes who like to just to fuck around and pretend that, yeah, they care, but all they wanted was the pussy at that moment.
But you agree that women naturally want leaders. I've heard women say that when a guy cries too much, they get turned off because it's like he shows that he's not able to lead the
No,
scenario.
if you cry too much, there's a problem, man. But if he's able to cry or express at least his emotion in a healthy way, not punching, not drinking, not jerking too much off, there's a way to express yourself without always needing to cry. Because the problem is people misunderstand where crying have to be a thing to expression of emotion for a man, which is not the case. Just talk. Sometimes something piss you off, but you cannot express it by, you don't need to cry to show your emotion. You can just tell or show it, draw it, sing it, beat that bitch Drake, make albums about it. How many women, Kiki, who's the hell is that girl? How many times he wrote about her? Do that. It's just that for me, even when a woman over cry, I also find it like it's a fucking problem because I'll be like, who hurt you? What happened? Why you need to cry every 5 seconds? There's other way to express yourself than just crying.
I think there's also a lot of people who are very sensitive, but I think you should probably find someone who's on your same level of sensitivity. I don't
I
know.
would say someone who is in tune with your radiation, your level, same level of expression. If
Yeah.
you're able to find that, cool. Well, you know what is, there's eight, not even 7 point something, 8 billion people on this fucking planet now. I thought that COVID would have at least take half of us. No, we're still there. 8 fucking billions. You cry about one person crying too much and they bother you. The other fucking 8 billion people.
Yeah, and I mean, I've had this one conversation where someone would say that, okay, well, it's very hard because we don't have access to it. I'm like, the 50% of the population is men. 50. No one's rare. No one is unattainable. I would say actually, maybe if you're going after a specific person, they say no. But I mean, it doesn't mean everyone has access to find somebody. You just have to put yourself out there. Someone will find you decent. But
Not decent. Someone will find you wonderful.
yeah,
Sometimes you like they say sometimes one man trash is someone else's treasure. But to them, you think that maybe the relationship that you were in, it was trash, but it's not that. It's just your perception was not okay. And the other one, he will value you for who you are and and think that your sense of humor is funny, not saying that, oh, stop making that joke, this kind of thing. So it's again, everybody is different. What I like is not gonna be what you like. The type of dude that I am into is not every girl that will be into it. Some girls like the skinny dude. The others they like the dad bud, which I still don't get. Others like the bald guy, the hairy guy like you, like everyone the body.
Hey man, like I'm glad someone can have. Everybody has a different fetish or
Thank
the
God
thing.
that everybody have a different taste because otherwise, imagine that if women were like all other men, they don't want any man who's bald at all.
Yeah, that's
Life
sad.
will be sad. Exactly. So take everything. There's some girls who can be like 7 foot tall. They want a short dude and they're happy with it. Others, the guy doesn't need to be the sexiest man alive. She find him sexy in other ways.
Yeah, you just got to put yourself out there. Whoever likes you likes you.
It's not that. It's just to stop being demanding and thinking that you're going to marry an IG model because the IG model is after the wallet and not yours. They're after the fat one.
But do you agree that certain people have more options than other options, and you could increase your options by, taking care of yourself?
Mhm.
Everybody has the ability to at least have proper hygiene,
Oh
take
yeah,
care of yourself.
yeah.
At least try to live a healthy lifestyle.
It's
You
not
know,
just about living the healthy high lifestyle. You
don't
also
be
have to
don't
be a decent fucking human being.
yeah, don't insult, don't just swear at people, or if you tell any woman like you'll get back in the kitchen and suck me off, she'll be pissed off. Like,
Intel.
I told this one guy, like I was having a debate with the dude. It was on a TikTok live because he had a podcast that's similar to us, but except he goes to women and he like posts it live. And he was talking about like I was telling him the word feminism. Like he's like, you gotta just call someone out on feminist. I'm like, listen, man, if a guy's trying to look for people, if you know it's gonna piss people off, why are you just gonna bring that up on the first day and start talking about feminism and stuff? It's just gonna trigger people. I said, if you really are that traditional, just say you're a traditional guy. If you just
Yeah.
tell people, the thing is like, I hate feminists, I hate this, you're gonna turn off people that probably would be interested in you anyways. I
Well,
said it's not about what you say, it's how you say it.
yeah, it's mostly that, but also I noticed that the word feminism now it became very negative because they don't take in account the initial revolution that came with it, where we were more asking about equality than anything. It's just that this new wave of feminism is so fucked up. Even me, I'm lost. And I consider myself as being like a feminist, but OG type, Now I have to say, yeah, I'm a feminist, but OG, not thinking that, oh, I demand this to be above you and you treat me this. No. All I want is just that you respect me, I respect you.
Yeah, but I think it's not. But I think that like right now, like the problem with there's red pill and manosphere, and some people get really into it, and then
These guys have to stop, first of all, watch porn, dating strippers, thinking that every woman on this planet are IG model who will let camels will poop on their boobs for money. We're not. We also fine with the regular Joe. You need to fix your attitude, dude, because you think that everything grants into you. Do you think you're the hardest shit? No, you. They like to complain as like they are like the victim of the situation, but they're not. If you're a piece of shit of type of human being, guess what? Nobody wanted to get your dick wet.
no, but I mean it's also those guys like
Not.
those guys are only going after for those Instagram models. So I said inevitably you're gonna have shallow interactions because that's
Exactly. And after that, they would tell to the woman, yeah, they're too picky. No, they're not picky because they know they will go with what is equal to them. They don't want to go with someone who's going to treat them like a pet. Look, my beautiful, dumbass girlfriend. And I had her because you know what is happening with that. It's just that for them, it should be the revenge of the nerds type in real life, but it's not working like that. It's not because the billionaires have those women that it mean that yeah, it's gonna be the same for you, regular smuggler Joe. If your attitude is shit, if you treat women like you said earlier, yeah, go back to the kitchen and suck me up. Do you think that she want to date you? No.
no. So there's some guys who'll say I told him like you can have that opinion, but it's just
But
you got to say it in a different way.
no, it's just that in the manosphere, I noticed one thing. Their notion of relationship is not even healthy at all because it goes to my need, that's all. You have to respect me. But the thing is, respect is on both ways. It's not just one end. You don't just receive respect, you also have to give it. Right?
Yeah.
So when they are complaining all the time, oh, they're lonely, da 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 da, all women just want this because they go, as you said, after a particular type of woman who just are the worst representation of women. Yes, they're hot, they look cute and all that. Maybe their coochie smell like shit. You don't want that. But just because she's an IG model, she have to look at you. You threw money at her. Like some people, I read some crazy story on the shade room where they're like, oh, I took the girl on the date and she didn't get my call back. I want her to pay me back for the dinner that I took her on. I was just like, since when we have reached this point where you have to have sex, otherwise they're not paying your dinner? That's called prostitution in that case. You offer to take the person out, and after that you are mad because they're just like, oh well, thank you, it was nice to meet you. They're being very polite and nice and they leave, and after that unfortunately they didn't see any connection with you. You're mad because you didn't have sex with her because you pay for dinner.
Yeah, that's some guys. But then some guys feel entitlement if you're spending a lot of money.
Yeah, and those are the one who listen to Food and Fish.
Fresh and
What is
fit. Fresh and fit. Shout out to Myron. Whatever his name is. Myron.
Food and Fish?
Yeah, fresh and fit.
They
Fresh,
always fuck.
fit and fresh. Fresh and fit.
Yeah, yeah, whatever. They're not fresh, they're not fit. So I'll call them just the Food and Fish.
Yeah, all those. I mean,
Because they say bullshit all day.
yeah, fresh and fit. Andrew Tate. Shout out to actually. I kind of like Andrew Tate, man.
Andrew Tate, the thing is, I think I told you that the other day,
Yeah.
that his perspective is not just a perspective. Sometimes I would say some of what he says is right. And I know a lot of girls like, oh, you pick me. Fuck no, I'm not. Don't pick me there. Because I will also slap the guy if I have the opportunity for some shit that he says. But I would say one thing. He's being honest and telling the truth about a lot of people and what he's seeing. That some of those girls that he's seeing are exactly what he's saying. But the only problem is just that the way he says it comes off as like, yeah, he's part of the manosphere, like a Food and Fish. Those two, I don't put them at the same category as Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Because for him, it's mixed feelings. He would drop some very good gems and truth into what he's saying, but because he's yelling and the way he expresses it is perceived too aggressive, that's why people don't agree with what he's saying, even though he's right at some stuff.
Yeah, no, I know. But I think he says it in a way because it's gonna get controversy. It's gonna get clicks. It's gonna get views.
Yeah, well, me is simple. My controversy is that you're two ugly guys. I cannot compare you to any part of my body because my body is snatched and natural.
You know,
And
fresh and fit, they watch other people's podcasts. So
I don't care. Watch
they're
my
gonna-
podcast. Try to react to it. I'm gonna choose violence. I can come to them Miami and punch you both and still beat you.
You wouldn't want that. I would want to go on their podcast.
I don't wanna, because the thing is they always choose the same stupid dumbass girl who are in their early 20s, because in your early 20s, women in general, and I can attest that because I was like that in my early 20s, we're just after the very, very rich guy because this is the fairy tale that we have put in our brain, the prince with a lot of money. Bless you, whoever sneezed.
Yeah.
So all that is just I'm not here to I'm not gonna be able to participate with that, because first of all, they will not let me talk, and second, they will know that I'm too articulate for them. So I have more than 2 brain cells. They cannot win those arguments against me. Even if they try to yell, I will want to punch them, because that's the physical reaction that I have with those 2 guys. When I see them, when I see those videos about them, I just want to get up and get out of there and punch them with the fucking mic, beat them. I think I hate them even more than fucking Drake. Shout out to you, Drake.
Yeah, shout out to Fresh and Fit.
Shout out to Drake, Aubrey. What is his
Graham.
name? Yeah,
Aubrey Graham.
I don't know the name in my head. That's bad. Oh my god, he's a Scorpio too. So shout out to you.
No,
I
that's
think
it.
sometime I can defend you, dude.
No, he's had. I've heard. I've listened to things that I disagree. But I can tell you that guy does have a lot of following. Like, I've talked to people. I'm like, what do you think about this guy? there's a lot of guys who agree with what the stuff that
Yeah,
especially
because
hiring
those
guys.
guys are the infamous incel people, the one who don't have any time of their dick wet at all, and who always pursue girls who are 21 in college, who are just the one to party all night and be with a rich dude, instead of pursuing women who are in the same age as them, who level-headed, who have a real job, who can cut off their bullshit. So that's why it's just because
I
they
think
cannot handle
I
those
saw
women. I
I saw their argument of what they said. They said the average guy, if a guy has his life together and he's high value, he's high income, high earners, he's in his 30s. They said he's not gonna pick a
Stop
lawyer
always
woman.
going with the money.
He's not gonna pick a woman in a high career because then she,
Acid.
yeah, he said he'd rather go with some 22-year-old who's a barista at Starbucks.
Sky, what? I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Some I'd say I would say it's a puller take for both of them because in my perspective, because I've seen both, I've
Mhm.
seen 21-year-olds and 22-year-olds. My problem with them is that a lot of them don't want to settle down. So if I
Yeah.
want to settle down, what am I going to do with the 21-year-old?
Exactly. So that's why it doesn't make sense for them to talk about experience with children. Their brain is not fully developed.
Yeah, but then at the same time, those girls, if you're looking at someone say that you reach your peak uh physical beauty at that age, they said because a lot of guys, I've only wanted to hear you say they say women value drops after age 30.
No.
Sure, you've heard that before. So then
I
they'll
heard
say,
that before because you know why? Because they start to think with their brain, not their body anymore.
yeah, but
After
then they'll say that they say you have a clock, right? So then they said like
I don't have a clock. I'm not a fucking watch.
biology, you don't think that like,
I am not a fucking watch.
but don't you think that like once a woman hits
I
menopause?
don't have a fucking watch. I am not a watch.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's fair.
See, that's the thing that annoys me because you know what? Okay, they want to talk about fact and science. Let's go. Because that shit start to piss me off. Men also have biological clock, even though you don't want to admit it, because after a certain age, your sperm decrease drastically, and everything that you have in your spermative is already dead. Okay, as I speaking too fast. Okay, let's go slow. After a certain age, every man on this planet, their reproductive system, especially the spermacide and spermatozoid, what it's helping to reproduce human, are being less and less healthier. So it's mean that the only swimmers that you have are broken. They have a one half leg, and that's why you have some kids that have problems with their
But
bone.
but do you agree a 75-year-old man could get a girl pregnant?
Yeah, and that's where is also the problem. The kid also come with what? A lot of issues, right?
It's possible, but I'm saying
Not,
if you
it's not, exactly. So same thing for everybody. Stop just pegging everything on the woman.
a 75-year-old woman
I
can have.
am not a fucking clock.
I know, but there is a biological fact that after a certain age, women cannot have children.
The thing, okay, so what you were saying, yes, after 75, yeah, a woman would not be able to reproduce. But the thing is, the number of chance that the 75-year-old man have a healthy baby is also extremely reduced. After a certain time, it's kind of like milk. Your sperm age like fucking milk. And that milk will come with like some fuck
But do
up
you
and
think
broken things, congenital disorder, like a lot of things.
someone said that men age like wine, women age like milk? Like when men.
No, I would say it's the other way around. I'm sorry. Have you seen Jennifer Lopez in her 50s?
I know, but that's the average. Look, a woman is inherently not as.
That's the thing. It's just to stop putting the value of a woman on just on her physical. Man, you also get old and ugly.
But
You
here's
look like
my.
a prune,
But here's my thing though.
a dry resin.
I'm not saying it's the only thing I'm factoring or thinking about, but like let's say if you're a man, right? You're 32 years old. Let's use that age.
Mm.
You marry a 24-year-old versus another 32-year-old. You could have 3 years where you're just talking to each other while you're married before you even have kids, and you don't have to worry about it because you're you're not in any rush because that person was young enough when you got married. If you marry someone who's
But
older.
what a 32-year-old have in common with a 22-year-old?
Yeah, there's probably you
What
don't
do
have to
they
have,
have in common?
you probably have conversation. You could probably have like
What do they have in common?
how much
There's a
how much
fucking
how,
decade
how much
difference between them.
how much
Do
do you
you
need
think
to,
that I have something in common with someone who, one of the TikTok generation? No,
you don't need to have that much in common. You just said
you
need to
do.
have a mutual goal and agreement that you want to make.
Your approach to that and relationship is too simplest. You need to have something very
You have
much
to
more
have something
solid,
in common. I would say
more solid than that.
shared
You can't
values,
do just one thing.
shared values. But I mean, at the end of the day, you're not there. It's not like they're your homie. They're not, is your partner, your wife or husband
No,
supposed to be your
your
best friend?
spouse is supposed, yeah, but it's supposed to be your best friend and also is mean your homie.
It's not supposed to be your homie.
Yeah.
I have my homies to be my homies.
Listen, so you want to say that your spouse can be your best friend but cannot be
Can
your
be.
homie?
Yeah, I'm saying there's two different. There's a different dynamic to the relationship.
What's
Like
the difference?
there's a completely different dynamic.
What's the difference?
The
What is
difference
it?
the difference is the conversations I have, the dynamic of the conversations I have with the homie are completely different than what you'd have with your wife or husband. It's because you talk about different things in a different way. You approach it in a different way. With your partner, you're talking about like you're building a relationship. So it's the relationship is the focus of it. So your
Mhm.
conversations spent are about pleasing the person emotionally. Well, I'm not thinking about my friends' emotions when we're having conversations. I'm not saying it in a way to like bullying them, but you're not looking at it in a different way. It's the
No, that's kind of ridiculous because you can still have a good conversation with your partner. It doesn't need to be always that deep.
no. I'm saying you could have good we're
That's why your partner can be your homie, so then you can at least joke around. Because if everything is that serious, my God, it's boring.
no. You can have serious conversations, but I mean, like, don't you think people have different roles? Like the conversations I have with my friends are different than the conversations you, for the most part, have with your partner. Like
No,
people have different
no.
categories that they.
Okay, so the thing is, I will have different category of people with what I'm talking about. I have a one friend where I can vent to every time that I am broke. I have one friend that can vent about my relationship with my guy. I have one friend that I can talk about my work all the time. I have one friend that I can, actually, the last one can be the dump of everything where I can say everything to that person. And also, I have my partner where I can say everything to.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying, but I'm saying that there's a difference in relationship. You get different things from different people.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know what? Everybody's different. Your perception is not the same as mine, and I see where you're coming from. But the thing is, for me, it's not how it would work. If I am married with someone, he knows everything. I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
gonna talk to him.
I'm not saying you're hiding anything, but I'm
No,
saying
it's not. I'm not saying that way. It's just that I would talk to him like I'm talking to my homies, how I talk to my best friend because he is becoming my best friend. What would I change my way to talk with him?
no, but I'm saying there's a difference in the relationship. Like
Possibly.
how I talk to my friend, I have friends who with different ages, right? I don't look at age completely. I
Yeah.
could be friends with someone who's 55 if they're cool enough. I could
Yeah.
be friends with someone who's 24 if they're mature. Why not? So, but everybody brings something else to the table, right? So you get different things from different people. I'm not saying it's always about benefiting off somebody, but I get different dynamics. Like when I'm talking to one friend, I get different things that I get from you, and I get different things from my partner that I get from my other friend. But it doesn't mean I don't cherish everybody's value. It's
Yeah.
just that you get everybody fulfills different roles in everyone's life. You know what I mean? And I think you should have different people fulfilling different roles because then you're asking too much of your part. I think there should be a degree of separation between you and your partner because you shouldn't expect them to fulfill the role of a friend, a homie at all times. You know what I mean?
For that part, I agree that yeah, you can have like friends that will get different roles and all the stuff because it's very important and healthy. But the thing is, for me, it's just that yes, I will have all those friends, but I will still go to my partner and just dump everything that I said with my friends already.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with a pillow talk. Pillow talk is a good thing, but everyone has different roles in different areas.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
there's a reason why people should have more than one relationship. Like I don't mean like intimate
Yeah.
relationship. I mean like
No,
people
no,
should
no.
have
I agree with what you're saying on that
yeah.
part. Because if you put that all onto one person, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It's a crap load of pressure. You cannot handle that. It's
And I
impossible to sit there like this and be the one that they count on you on everything.
and
It's
I've
hard.
I've seen friends. I have friends with when they said their partner doesn't lacks other friends, and they're always spending time together, and eventually that puts strain because you're like you need to have a little bit of a separation.
Yeah.
It's you should have your own groups.
You
You should
should
have
be
other
able to have still your life going, but not just surrounding your own existence around one person. It's not your son.
yeah.
Like making your partner becoming the central of your life. Oh my God, that's toxic as hell. That's why after that they end up on those documentary of people being murdered for no other fucking reason.
Yeah, I've had a conversation with a friend. He's like one of my friends was telling me how he thinks he's codependent because he needs that person to fulfill that settlement because he doesn't go out and talk to anybody else.
Okay,
But
so you need to go see a therapist.
I said that's a little bit toxic. Right? Like
Go to your
have you should have different people fulfill different roles. I said you should have different. I said that's why friends exist. That's why parents exist. That's why brothers and sisters exist. That's
I
why
think, yeah, that's why you have colleagues and all this stuff. But
yeah
also the thing is, you see, um, I remember when during the Christmas break, I went back to my family, all that to visit, right? And at one point, my mom asked me if I would like to come back and live in Quebec, and I said no. And I explained to her that Edmonton became my home, even though I know people like to call it Edmonton, all that. It's a weird thing. It's just that when I was away, that was my first time in 9 years that I live in Edmonton that I left for a little bit for vacation. And I missed it. I missed Edmonton a lot because it's not just the fact that, yeah, my family or my relative blood related were not there, but they were in Quebec. But I realized one thing when I went there, I was extremely lonely because without my family, I had barely any friends except for just one that I was working with. And realizing that I took the right decision to leave and come here. After that, it just validated that it was the best decision I ever took because I was able to meet you guys. I was able to meet other people that I am very friend with. I was able to meet my situation.
yeah.
I was able to do all that in this town, and because of it, I have such like a wide and varied type of friendship that I value a lot because each of you, as you said, feed a different need that I have in my friendships, and I think that is more healthy. And I think if I was staying in Quebec, I was probably fall into depression. That's for sure. Because that lack of interaction with other people that is not related to me automatically, I was just a sad person. The memory that I had from there, it was basically just me going, wake up every morning, go to work, come back home, do the same thing again and again and again and again. But here, even though sometime I would do that Monday to Friday, go to work, all that, in the meantime, I still can't see other people. I would text some of my friends, catch up with this and that, and say, oh, let's do this, let's do that. It make the life more filling and be able to be like, yeah, you know what? I have like some funny story to tell to one person, and also I will have like a fun experience with the other one. I think it's very much needed to have this type of healthy variety in your life because mentally you need that. Your support system is so vital, and especially since we got the COVID situation happen. People, I would say that people finally realize the value of human connection. Finally, they were able to see that. Unfortunately, it had to come to a pandemic to make us realize that actually we need human interaction. We need that connection, even though we don't know each other. Look how many people have filmed videos where they were helping their neighbors that they never talked to for years just because of that pandemic. They were able to go, I'm going to check on my neighbor to make sure that they're okay. So people would like to be solely into one partner and say that they're the sun, the moon, the stars. Is not healthy. Get your own life. You had a life before them. You can still have a life with them. It's okay. They don't need to be the center of your universe, because when they are that, it's so unhealthy. Sorry, I
No,
was reading a text.
no. I agree with you. I think it's everyone should have different. I think if you make your partner the only thing in your life,
Mm,
you put firstly you put unnecessary pressure on that person,
yeah,
and then you create codependency where you're relying on this person for more than what they.
on everything. And once it's over,
Then
it's
you're gonna
worse.
it's gonna hit even harder.
Hmm.
What I
Because
told
you,
I had a debate with my friend about this. I said you shouldn't seek codependency. You should seek co-independency. And like,
yeah,
what does that mean? Where both of you have your crap together, but you're better off together. That's why you're together because you both enhance each other, but you're
it's
not
like
relying on each other. You know what I mean?
those who always start a sentence with "we," not "me and my partner," "me and my this." It's always "we did this," "we did that." You're not Siamese twins. Calm down. You know, where you get the people like codependence is the farthest thing of healthy in any situation. You have to at a certain point cut the cord, and like this is the one of the phrase that my mom always say, and I love it. Every time that she argues, say, yeah, but sometimes you know what my sister will say, well, yeah, but you two are married, and she's like, I wasn't born with him, because she's still an individual in her marriage. For how many years they have been married, and she still sees herself as an individual. It's not a we thing, it's me and this individual, we are in this marriage together. But every time expressing yourself by suddenly you move to into one person, that's creepy to me, because I'm just like, I am too much of a personality. I like the fact that my man is a tone down. He's kind of, he can be also like very social and talking all that, but he's more like the calm one. Me, I'm the loud one that's like, hey, did this, because I know how to pretend to be an extrovert, which is I'm not. But after that, when we are just about ourselves, basically our conversation will be like things that we are interested in. It will also have like a discussion like you and I we're having right now, where we don't agree on everything, and I find it great. You would tease each other sometime, like, yeah, well, if you don't tease your partner, it's not fun. Being able to talk about serious things, something light and all that, and just to sometimes just to vent to the person and they listen to you, you're just like, yeah, that's it is what it is. People have to understand that you were already yourself before meeting that person. As wonderful they are, you were already an individual. Don't morph yourself to please them, because I noticed that those who do those kind of codependent thing, usually they do that to please the other person, and they erase their own personality.
And I think that there's also it stems from a little bit of a low lack of self-esteem. Like you don't value yourself that high,
Mm-hmm.
so you're gonna do what it takes to make this person happy at the cost of yourself.
Yeah.
And also
Oh no.
because you don't think you can do better. Like I've seen people do that. They'll put up with a lot. They'll put up with getting cheated on. They'll put up with not getting what they want because they're like, what can else? But I said if someone's feeding you breadcrumbs, just realize there's someone out there who will, instead of a breadcrumb will give you a whole bakery. So
No,
I
the
said,
guy will build the bakery, give you the oven, the wheat, everything. They will do that for you.
yeah. So I
Because
said,
that's the thing. People stop thinking that they're special. They stop thinking that they're worth it, that they're valuable without that person.
yeah, man, this is pretty far off from the original discussion.
Listen, it's still okay, because you know what? Porn separate and unite people. Sometimes we're just like crazy, weird, and it's so still it's always end up about human relations, regardless.
Yeah,
Because that's the thing. I think that you come from a point where there's a worry where people are so disconnect that the emotion is not connected with what is supposed to be the physicality of it. And also you have a mindset of an OG where it have to be always that intimacy, because that's the first thing that you brought up.
yeah,
You are more worried about intimacy.
yeah,
Me, my approach to that, it was just that play it out of your fantasy, visualize. If your frustration, you put it out there, you just put it out of your system by watching it. To me, that's how I go with it. But I'm going with healthy people who are watching normal amount of porn, who don't go to crazy stuff like zoophilia, incest, or those crazy shit. But your approach, I see it is valid, but I don't want you to put everybody who consume porn into the same category.
that's fair.
Because
but I think that there's healthy ways to do things and non-healthy ways.
Yeah.
But I'll say that if I'm thinking if it's overall a force of good or bad, I'm still going to lean on the fact that I don't think it is. But I think that there's enough nuance there that you can agree to disagree on
To
this.
me, it's a piece of entertainment. That's all. It's also entertainment. Like people who just have a one night stand, and they entertain themselves with someone else. It's jerk enough with two people. Sound weird to say that. It's
Or
like two girls, one
yeah,
cup.
two people using your no jerking. I don't think we could have a conversation about what we could say that for the next the recording we're doing tomorrow because that's gonna be what's the,
Interesting.
that'll be an oh man
Okay.
because you know what's
Well,
crazy about that
people
about
who are gonna watch that in 3 months or anything, it's not tomorrow. But for us in this reality, it's tomorrow. So
recording it
technically,
tomorrow. But you know what's crazy?
yeah, the next episode that you will watch, it will be about a lot of
You know
stuff.
what's crazy about did I tell you what's happening? We're not only getting that guest, we're getting
Mm.
their partner. So it's gonna be
Oh,
it's gonna be
interesting. Yeah, I
two
like
people.
it.
It'll be fun.
Nice,
'Cause
nice.
we haven't had a couple on any of our
No,
yes.
ever.
So this
We
is
never had a couple. We were thinking about having that on the previous season, but it's okay. This is a way to kick off the season 3 of our Weird Millennial podcast, by the way, because we took a big hiatus for a long moment because like again I was saying that in the beginning I was going through some personal stuff. Abid, I'm not sure if you were also going through
a little
that, but
bit, yeah.
yeah, so we had our own things that were going on, so that's why you saw that for a couple months we didn't put anything out. But it's not that we are stopped, because no, I'm not going to stop this podcast, not until you make me as bigger than I almost call him Norman Tate.
Fresh and
What is
Fit,
his name?
Andrew Tate,
Fuck that. No, I want to be
bigger than
big
Drake.
as preach
Yeah,
Abba and preach.
I like Abba and Preach.
I like them
they
because
got
they're more rational than anybody. I want to be as big as those guys because I respect them. I like their opinion. Even sometimes I don't agree with them, but I see their point of view and I understand it. I
they
rather
got
that than food and fish.
foot and fish.
Yeah, whatever. Shout out to you, Drake. All
Shout
that
out,
comes from
shout out to Myron from Fresh. I'm kidding.
that's his name.
Myron, the one who always does the talking. That's the one that most people
His,
don't like.
his name is Myron.
Myron, yeah.
It sounds he can rhyme with moron. Okay, so we talked about food and fish and moron. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being patient with us and trust us. From now on, we're gonna be a little bit more steady. We're gonna even harass each other to make sure that we put out more episode. Hopefully, you're gonna follow us on every freaking platform. Subscribe, add on your favorites, listen to it. Even when you're cleaning the house, even when you're fucking your partner, I don't care what you're doing. Just play us. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, soon on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Boom.
TikTok, right? I said it right.
Talk of the tech.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! Please don't call me okay boomer. All right, I'm not a boomer.
Okay, man, we're out.
Yeah, we're out. Thank you.
Boom.
Peace.